And good evening, 79 degrees right before kickoff here in Spring Branch, Texas, as it's almost a picture-perfect night for some high school football as we come in the last several weeks of the season, and we're very proud to be bringing it to you here on the Rangers Network this evening. My name is Roland James Reese, and here to do the game with me, you know him, you love him, we all do. Many, many moons ago, the former defensive coordinator of the Smithson Valley Rangers, he's done so much more, former head coach at Canyon High School, Mr. Joe Muchagamba. Coach, what are we looking for this evening?
We're looking for a great football game this evening. This is two programs that they've battled through the years against each other, and there won't be nothing but a great ball game tonight, I suspect.
And, we'll go into that. We'll take a look at some records. As a matter of fact, the Rangers lead the all-time series, and we'll talk about that coming up here in just a bit. The Rangers won the toss. They deferred to the second half. They'll be kicking off to the Judson Rockets, and we are underway from Ranger Stadium here in Spring Branch. The far side of the field, Judson takes the football on the return. Coming across the 25 and thrown out of bounds there is the Rocket returner. That, of course, number 15, Jeremiah Dunn, the wide receiver, junior wide receiver. And the Rockets will go to work 1st and 10 from that point.
Yeah, it's a good return, good starting point for the Rockets. They start off with pretty good field position on their first possession.
Starting behind center this evening for Judson, we'll be looking for Michael Burrows. He's had a good year passing and, of course, running the football as well. 2 touchdowns carrying the football for the Rockets. He'll have 2 receivers to the far side and a single receiver to the near side. Comes out of the box passing. Completes a pass across the 35 down to around the 36-yard line.
A quick hit and throw. They're going to kind of see what each other's going to do tonight on offense and defense. Of course, Judson's going to try to figure out early on what Smithson Valley, how they're going to attack them defensively. A good little possession ball there for the Rockets.
It's Andre Jones on the far side. Here come the Rockets once again. This time Burrows on the keeper will get out across the 40, about the 41-yard line before he'll be met there and dropped. And we're helping with the stop that time for Smithson Valley. I believe that was Gavin Woods.
Yeah, Gavin Woods has been having a really good year for Smithson Valley along the defensive line, as many others have.
2nd and 6 right now for Judson, who have 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. And that far side receiver will haul in the Burrows pass, pick up a couple down to about the 47-yard line, but that ought to be enough to move the chains and give Judson a first down. We were talking about you can't kind of turn your head and not imagine what's going on at Judson High School this week under an interim head coach, I guess, at this point. But as you were saying, that might bring an awful lot of emotion out of them.
Well, it certainly can. These kids love the game. They like what they're doing. The head coach sometimes is a moot point. I don't mean that in a negative way, but sometimes they just got to go play. They're representing their school, and whatever the higher-ups decisions they make affects them. But I'm sure they practiced this week and had a good week, and we'll see what happens tonight with them.
That first down pass was intended for Anthony Evans. It was incomplete. Good coverage that time by the Rangers secondary. It'll be 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage is the 48-yard line, that being the Judson 48. Burrows, the keeper, bang his way out to about the 50. A couple of tough yards right there in the middle of the line. Is over to make the stop that time. Like Wyatt Hansen, number 23 that time from his linebacker position.
Judson's going to run a lot of read game with their quarterback and some misdirection stuff that's got a chance to give Smithson Valley some problems potentially. They've done pretty well so far with the run game.
Burrows with a pickup of 2. It's 3rd and 8 right now. Burrows swings it out. Pass is caught across midfield and into Smithson Valley territory down to around the 45. Goes the receiver, Arias Silva Matatuia. I got to get that name correct. Work on it, Roland. All right. That's going to be far short of a first down.
That's a great tackle by De Hoyos running the alley. One-on-one tackle. I'm going to let you say that name every time he does something.
Matautia, I think I got it that time. Okay, it's 4th and 3. Rockets decide to go for it. Shotgun, Burrows the keeper across the 45. He's going to have enough for a first. Though he's met there by a swarm of Rangers trying to drive him back, but not before his forward progress will move the chains and give him a first down.
Well, that might kind of tell us what their mindset is coming in tonight. Not much to lose. They're going to go for it on 4th downs and take what they get.
Well, Burrows is averaging about 2 yards a carry. And as we mentioned, he's got a couple of rushing touchdowns for Judson thus far this season. It's 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage is the Smithson Valley 40. Burrows looks over to the sideline to get his instructions. 3 receivers to the near, or correction, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Swings it out, pass complete. That's Jonathan Johnson. Gets out across the 40.
Looks like Smithson Valley jumped into a 3-down alignment, and that calls Judson to check the sideline. Looks like there might be a little cat and mouse game going on the rest of the night based on what Smithson Valley's in on defense.
2 receivers out to the far side and a single to the near side on this 2nd and 7. Line of scrimmage, the Smithson Valley 37. Burrows looks to pass. This one picked off.
It's Egley, number 7. That's a great interception. Great hands. I mean, that's just a great. I know he's in the right place at the right time. Boy, that's a heck of a catch.
And it came at a big opportunity there for Smithson Valley. Egley with his 2nd interception of the season. Now that's 4 on the year for Smithson Valley. And their offense will take over 1st and 10. And line of scrimmage is going to be their own 29-yard line.
Egley's been pretty consistent for him. I think he's number 4 on the team with tackles, and now a big pick like that.
Single receivers either side for Derek Mata. The give going straight ahead. I believe that's McCracken with a carry, who bust out across the 30 down around the 32, picking up some positive yardage. Give him a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Smithson Valley. Now man in motion. This time to give on the far side. Malachi Lane with a carry. A couple of tough yards. Lane coming in 404 yards thus far carrying the football this season.
They're going to try to run the football. That's for sure. That's what they want to be about, and they'll throw it if they have to. Try to set it up. 3rd and long, big down.
3rd and 6, 33-yard line is the line of scrimmage for Smithson Valley. Mata calls for the snap, takes it. Here's a nice end around. They're going to have the first down and more. Good carry that time by the end, and carrying that was Kyler Clark.
They get the ball to Kyler Clark. He can get to the edge in a hurry. That little guy is fast. That's a great play. He knew what he had to get for the first down. He didn't try to get fancy. He put his nose down and made the line to gain.
14 catches for 143 yards thus far on the season for Kyler. Moves the chains, going to give the Rangers a first down. Line of scrimmage is their own 40-yard line. Here's Mata looking near side. Has Clark once again across the 40. Taken out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Over to make the stop that time for Judson was Cuvon Jackson from his defensive back position.
Little play action pass, no different than handing it off. They pick up 4. You take that if you're running the football. So nice completion. Good job by Clark.
2nd and 6 Rangers from their own 44-yard line. Mata the give straight ahead, couple of tough yards, banging out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Goes the Smithson Valley runner. Check out who that was, single digit. Might have been McDonald carrying that.
I think I look might have been McCracken again.
McCracken
between the tackles. Judson's doing a nice job with the run game in between the tackles right now, making it tough on Smithson Valley.
Pair of receivers out to the far side and a single receiver to the near side on this 3rd and 4. Mata the snap. Rolling right, feeling some pressure. He's going to go down. Big play that time defensively. Kenyon Johnson from his defensive line position coming over to make the hit on the Ranger quarterback, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Judson's defense is pretty active right now. They're not staying blocked. They're getting off the offensive lineman and getting penetration.
So back to return the punt is Anthony Evans as he waits back at his own 32-yard line. Osorio on to punt this thing away. High snap. And Osorio just has to fall on it. I believe Judson saying they have the football, and sure enough, according to the referee, it's going to be Rocket football at the Smithson Valley 12.
Yeah, that's been one of Smithson Valley's strengths so far this year through 7 games has been their special teams. They hadn't had anything like that happen to them yet, so it's unfortunate, but defense got to get out there and do their job now. Everything's not going to be easy for them, so they got their backs against the wall. Let's see if they can hold them out.
Yeah, Sario's been banging off punts of about averaging about 42 yards, so they've certainly done a good job, as you mentioned, on special teams. It'll be 1st and 10, line of scrimmage, the Smithson Valley 12 for Judson. Burrow, the handoff straight ahead. Nothing doing there as Nathaniel Stanley's going to be wrapped up. Good defensive pursuit that time. Gavin Woods, among others, over to make the stop for Smithson Valley.
Yeah, there's a lot of them got their shot at him that time. He's not easy to get down, and that's part of it. They just keep on whacking him until he goes.
That'll be a loss of a couple on the play as the ball's now spotted on the 14-yard line. Be 2nd and 11. They got to get to just inside the 3 for a 1st down. Burrows outside pass complete. Once again, Ranger defense wrapping up the receiver at about the 10-yard line. Penalty markers fly. We'll check that after a pickup of a handful. I guess they picked up the flag.
Must have picked it up.
All righty. 2 receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side on this 3rd and 8. Burrows looking far side, and his pass is complete. Catch is made on the far side by Andre Jones. It'll still be shy of a 1st down. Spotting this on the 5, they've got to get just inside the 3 for a 1st down, so they're calling it 4th and 3.
They're going for it. They're not going to kick.
2 receivers come to the near side, single receiver to the far side on this 4th down play for the Judson Rockets. Stanley, the handoff straight ahead. No indication, finally an indication. Touchdown for Judson. So we've got 4:21 left to go in the 1st quarter.
Initial contact was made at the line of scrimmage. He just running tough and didn't get him down.
5-yard touchdown run by Nathaniel Stanley. 419 yards and 4 touchdowns make it 5 with that one going into the end zone. And the extra point is good. 4:21 left to go in the 1st quarter. Our score is the Judson Rockets 7, the Smithson Valley Rangers nothing. More football to come right here on the Ranger Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Fisher's Neighborhood Market, Ferris Orthodontics, Sage Capital Bank, Wick Productions, HEB, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Dermatology San Antonio, Summerhill Dental, and Jeremy Fuller State.
Whoa, what brings you here to? Whoa. Well, I heard my wife talking to her friends that y'all work miracles, so I thought maybe you could do something with this.
We absolutely.
Relive that Judson touchdown here for you in just one moment. Kickoff is going to go out of bounds at about the 23, and that's where Smithson Valley will take over from that point. See where the ball is officially spotted. Well, the Judson Rockets take advantage of a Rangers miscue on that missed snap that time. Score from 12 yards out to get the Rockets on the scoreboard first this evening. Big district game. They all get pretty big around this point as the season, the regular season that is slowly but surely coming to a close. Looks like they're going to go ahead and re-kick this.
Yeah, with the type of return game that Smithson Valley has had this year, they're not just going to take the ball where they spot it. They're going to make Judson kick it off to them and see if they can cover kicks. Judson, obviously, on that first one, they're going to try to bloop it short and hit it to one of the upbacks. They're not going to want to kick it to Clark or Bufitas.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Bufitas back there, it's always dangerous. Here comes the kickoff, and it'll be touched by one of the up men who bobbles. And once again, Judson saying they got the football, and that is the case.
Yeah, they kicked it short, a little bit of indecision. Mishandled the kick, and Judson's on it. You know, that's two big mishaps in the kicking game for Smithson Valley tonight so far.
Well, Rockets able to take advantage of that first miscue, and we'll see if the Ranger defense can rise to the occasion now. Rockets are going to have the football once again in good field position. They're going to be at the Smithson Valley 35-yard line. And the Rocket offense takes over 1st and 10. Snap this one out. Pass is complete across the 30 and down to around the 20. I call it the 27-yard line. Goes Anthony Evans at wide receiver. 10 catches on the year for 80 yards and a touchdown for the Rocket receiver.
That's a big gain on first down, leaving it 2nd and 2, which leaves lots of options for Judson. A lot of times Judson won't mind yanking one up the field in this situation. Although the time they've thrown it down the field, one of them got picked already tonight.
Here's the snap. Burrows on the keeper as he stopped just shy of the 20-yard line there. In over on the stop for Smithson Valley that time. That was Chase Barker, the senior. Line of scrimmage is going to be the 27. That being the Smithson Valley 27 for Judson. It'll be 3rd and 2. Snap, Burrows. The handoff, this is Stanley. Across the 30, the 25. Gets inside the 20.
Yeah, defensive end couldn't get out on the edge to get it turned in. That ran him to the sideline.
Colton Shepler from his linebacker position over to help make the stop. And that's another young man we've been talking defensively. He's had himself a whale of a 2021 campaign for Smithson Valley.
He's been having a tremendous year.
1st and 10, line of scrimmage, the 17-yard line. Once again, Stanley with a give, and you talk about Shepler. There he is to make the stop. Little help coming up from Camden Egley. It's going to be just a pickup of 2 that time for Judson.
Yeah, I think we've shown already that every set of downs is four down territory for them. They're not going to punt the ball or kick a field goal. So Smithson Valley's going to have to get them in a good situation and stop them on 4th.
2nd and 8. Burrow swings the pass out. That time wrapped up was the wide receiver, Jonathan Johnson. He's over to make the stop. That was Garrison Eggleston.
It's a good job by Eggleston avoiding the block and turning it into Hoyas. The Hoyas forces it back at him, and they make a play for a short gain.
21, now make it 22 tackles on the year thus far to help anchor that defense for Smithson Valley from Eggleston. 3rd and 5 now. Here's Judson. Burrows, little floater. This one caught, but wrapped up right away as he gets inside the 15-yard line. Goes the Judson receiver, and that is Marvin Beasley, 175-pound senior running back. And it'll bring up 4th down situation. They're calling it 4th and 5. Once again, good heads-up play by Eggleston to come over and make the stop.
It looks like they're going to try a field goal. I'd certainly be looking for something different right here.
Got money. 20. Yeah, this one blocked. This one blocked. Smithson Valley's going to take over at their own 30-yard line. You were talking about that special teams there, Coach Muchagamba. There you go. Another example.
Well, that's a huge stop right there after the kickoff. The turn, Judson kicks off and Smithson Valley mishandles it and gives Judson the ball on about the 40. The defense stops him and blocks a field goal for no points. That's huge right here to keep it one score and kind of maybe take not a air out of the Rockets, but kind of stun them a little bit, kept them out of the end zone and putting points on the board.
Swing Mo back in the other direction. It's 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage is the 30-yard line. Mata. Looks like a busted play, but Mata will keep it and come up across the 30, down to around the 33-yard line. So turned something that could have been disastrous into something very positive there.
Yeah, I've seen some things tonight that look very uncharacteristic of Smithson Valley. A couple miscues in the kicking game, and quarterback fronts one way, back goes the other. I don't know who was wrong. It really doesn't matter. It just wasn't a good play.
So they're going to give Mata a pickup of 2 that time. It's 2nd and 8. Here's the give straight ahead. Nice hole.
That's Malachi Lane. They want to get him in there and kind of hammer the ball a little bit.
So across the 35 down to around the 37-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark this. 38, rather. And, didn't quite make enough for the first down, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and short.
Malachi Lane and Travis McCracken have been a great duo in the backfield for Smithson Valley this year.
3rd and 2, 38-yard line. Was a man in motion. Here's the give. Looks like Lane once again. He'll have the first down and more as he bangs across the 40 down to around the 43-yard line before he'll be stopped there. Coming over to make the stop, Julius Calhoun for Judson.
He just brings a little bit different aspect to run the football. He's just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. When he runs into somebody, he doesn't always just go straight down.
Lane 42 carries thus far coming into this game. 404 yards, 6 visits to the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Mata takes a snap, dropping back. Unloads. He's got a man who's got a step, but just out of the reach of his intended receiver was Kyler Clark.
Got kind of turned around, it looked like to me. Kyler did, or the ball turned him around. I don't know.
Clark been instrumental thus far here in the first quarter. Certainly a weapon to be dealt with. It's going out Bafidis to the far side on this 2nd and 10. Mata dropping back once again. This time he looks in his direction and overthrows his intended receiver, Bafidis. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 43, and that's the end of the first quarter. Our score 7-0 Judson. Back with more in a moment.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the Smithson Valley Rangers. We are happy to be part of tonight's game between the Rockets and the Rangers. Go Rangers!
Coach, this is the year. Give me a chance. I get to try out? Yes!
This is the year. Get your guns up. Get your guns up.
This is the 3rd time he's tried out for the team.
3rd and 10 now at the 43-yard line to start the second quarter for Smithson Valley. Mata drops back, unloads, just out of the reach of his intended receiver on the near side of the field. That being Zach McDonald, and that'll bring up a 4th down once again for Smithson Valley.
Yeah, Smithson Valley hadn't punted back-to-back times all year, I don't believe. It's a good job by Judson's defense, holding them out and making a punt. It's kind of an uncharacteristic set of downs right there for Smithson Valley.
Osorio coming on to punt this away, and Anthony Evans stands back deep at his own 21-yard line. to receive this one from the Judson Rockets. Right foot into this. Taking a Smithson Valley roll. They're saying keep rolling ball. They got it down at about the 12-yard line, and that's where the Rockets will take over 1st and 10. I know we were talking a little bit before the game, and you were saying that Judson could come into this with an awful lot of emotion. I mean, and apparently we've seen a little bit of that in the first quarter thus far.
Well, they're playing well tonight, and their record wouldn't show it, but they played pretty much all year. They've lost some close district ball games. They lost last week on a Hail Mary. They lost New Braunfels on a last-second field goal. So it's not like they haven't been playing. The things just haven't been going their way. They're certainly at it tonight.
They're averaging just over 24 points a game. On the first down, pass complete out to the far side for the Judson Rockets. And over to make the catch that time was Anthony Evans. Still pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Well, that's 3 times they've thrown it to the short side corner with them kind of floating off of them in coverage. But at some point they'll roll up on that and make a play.
In Burrows, this one tipped. Almost intercepted.
What they'll have to be careful of right now is they got that corner bit down that time on that stop. They're going to be looking at the stop and go and taking a shot up the field. You get that corner, beat him in front, and then pump it and let him run by him.
3rd and 5, line of scrimmage is the Judson 17. Man in motion, here's the handoff. Coming near side. Was a runner that time, Jeremiah Dunn, who handled that, and going to be stopped shy of a first correction. They're going to move the chains and give him a first down.
Yeah, they looked like they had a chance to stop him right there, but then he ran through an arm tackle and picked up a few more yards.
So they're going to spot this at the 24-yard line. That's where the Rockets will have it, their own 24 on a 1st and 10. Burrows, the quarterback, takes a snap. Once again, pass far side. This one little over the head of his intended receiver, Jeremiah Dunn. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Rockets.
Yeah, they want to get the ball in Dunn's hands a little bit. You can kind of see why. He's touched enough times not for you to know why they want him to have the ball in his hands.
Well, they're getting those quick passes out, and those have certainly been effective. As this time Dunn comes flanked out to the near side, along with another receiver, single receiver to the far side on this 2nd and 10 from the 24. This time Burrow decides to keep it himself.
That's one of those misdirection plays where they're reading the defensive end, and Reed told him to pull the football, and he pulled it and slipped and went down. But I think defensively had it defended pretty well.
Pickup of a couple. It'll be 3rd and 8. Now line of scrimmage is the Judson 26-yard line. Again, 2 receivers far side, single receiver to the near side for Burrows. Rolling right, feeling a little pressure, unloads it. And the pass is incomplete. Was thrown in the direction of Jeremiah Dunn, but that'll bring up a 4th down for the Rockets.
Good pressure by Amari McKenzie, number 9. He's been an impact player for him this year, too. Doesn't play her down, but he does some good things when he's on the field.
And it'll be 4th and 8 from 26.
They've been dangerous here all year long. Smithson Valley has in punt returns. It'll be interesting to see how they hold up tonight on this.
The feed is back. Here's the punt. This is Clark calling everybody off. He bobbled the kick, but however was able to fall back on top of it. The 40-yard line is where the Rangers are going to take over. And it'll be 1st and 10 following the Judson punt.
That was a good punt by, I forget what number their punter is, what his name is, Sebastian Bernal, number 16. Got a good hang time on it, which made Clark have to fair catch it and wasn't able to get the ball and have a return set up.
Well, not bad field position to start this drive for the Rangers, as we're just underway here in the 2nd quarter. 10:07 left. Judson with a 7-0 lead early on Smithson Valley. Here's the give, banging out across the 45, down to around the 47. I think is where they're going to say that the running back, that being McCracken, was stopped.
Smithson Valley is off a little bit offensively tonight. I don't know. I know it's got something to do with Judson's defense, but they're just not in rhythm yet. Hopefully they find the rhythm here running the football, so it helps them throw the football.
Pickup of 7 that time for McCracken. It'll be 2nd and 3 as there's movement. And I think lineman's pointing in the direction of the defense, so this may be against the Rockets. And that is the case.
They hard count them, or what they call dummy, get them to jump, and then they'll do one or two things. They'll give them 5 yards and also potentially slow them down a little bit. Don't let them tee off on the offensive lineman so much. Get them on the heels just a little bit.
So now in Judson territory, it's 1st and 10 for Smithson Valley. They're at the Rocket 48. The snap to give straight up the middle. Reed, once again, that's McCracken. And it is. He'll get a couple of tough yards. Down to around the 45, where it'll be 2nd down. That's one thing you got to do a double take there, because both of the running backs end in a 2.
Oh, yeah.
So it keeps you on your toes. Great job there for McCracken, though, running the football. Pick of 3s we mentioned, 2nd and 7. Now Clark in motion. Mata rolling. Mata has a man at the 40. Knocked out at about the 30-yard line.
It's Dylan Domel, and he's been a big part of their throwing game this year.
Domel, as we were talking before the game, seems like year in and year out here has been a big part of this Smithson Valley offense.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice design on the naked play action pass, faking full flow one way, then Domel kind of pinning his guy, then peeling back, and Mata hitting him on it. Big play.
That moves the ball to the 28, the Judson 28, that is. It's 1st and 10 for Smithson Valley. Mata, the give. Coming straight ahead across the 25. Down to around the 23 goes McCracken. Before he'll be wrapped up there and dropped, and in on the stop that time for Judson is Jalen Wagner.
Well, McCracken, I enjoy watching him run all year long. He is a tough, tough cookie.
Pickup of 6 that time. It's 2nd and 4 for the Rangers. Line of scrimmage is the Judson 22. And once again, we've got movement on the defensive line.
Smithson Valley getting a little drive going here. Going to finish it off with some points.
So the Rockets not doing themselves any favors defensively on this drive. They've been penalized for movement twice thus far.
That's got to slow them down a little bit. That's got to get them off the balls of their feet some, get them on their heels.
Clark comes to the near side. Single receiver to the far side on this 1st and 10, line of scrimmage to 17. McCracken once again squirting out across the 15 down to around the 13-yard line. Good hard running from McCracken.
Yeah, he almost got in that cutback crease. He hit it and just kind of stumbled and went down.
105 carries, 643 yards, and 9 touchdowns on the season for senior Travis McCracken. Give him a pickup of 3 on that play. It's 2nd and 7. Line of scrimmage is the 14-yard line. Once again, looked like that offense was trying to hard count or something to try to get the defensive line to move. Here's the handoff. McCracken once again banging out to about the 10-yard line before he's wrapped up. In on the stop that time was Julius Calhoun.
Yeah, right now they're trying. Judson's moving their defensive line one direction or the other, and Smithson Valley's trying to figure out which way that is pre-snap by going on a hard cadence, and letting them show their hand, and then the offensive line will have some idea where they're going to be when the ball snaps.
And that running game for the Rangers been an integral part of their offense all season.
Yeah, it's an important part for them. 3rd
and 4 now for Smithson Valley. Line of scrimmage is the 11. Why not? Give it to who brung you. That's Travis McCracken as he tries to get out to near the 5. He's going to be stopped just shy, but he should have enough for a Ranger first down.
This is who they want to be right here. run the football, and throw it when they want to, and not throw it because they have to.
The first and goal is checking into the game is Skylar Soward, senior tight end.
Yeah, they probably got 3 tight ends on the field right now. One's looks like a fullback.
First and goal from the 6. McCracken once again straight ahead as he bangs out to about the 2-yard line. Another big carry for the senior running back. Howard checking out, now checking into the game. Cole Douglas, the senior tight end for Smithson Valley. Second and goal, line of scrimmage, the 2-yard line. Pair of receivers, Clark now in motion to the far side. This time Mata's going to be wrapped up and thrown for a loss.
Yeah, they tried to run a quarterback snake out of the gun, and Judson got a lot of penetration, knocked some offensive linemen actually back into the quarterback.
It's Alex Caraccio, 52 tackles on the season for Caraccio and the Rockets.
Well, it's one of those, what do you do now? You ran it all the way down here, so do you play action, throw it now, or do you run it, Roland? 50-50.
That's why I announce, and I'm not on the sideline, in case you haven't noticed. Third and goal from the 3.
Timeout called by Coach Hill.
And a timeout. We'll take a timeout with him. As a matter of fact, 4:59 left to go before halftime. Our score, Judson 7 and the Rangers knocking on the door. We'll be back with more on the Ranger Network.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the Smithson Valley Rangers. We are happy to be part of tonight's game between the Rockets and the Rangers. Go Rangers!
Coach, this is the year. Give me a chance. I get to try out? Yes!
This is the year. Get your guns up. Get your guns up.
You know, this is the 3rd time he's tried out for the team, and I don't think he's going to make it this time either.
Third and goal, line of scrimmage, the 3-yard line. Mata rolling near side pass. This one caught. And a little love to the official while you're at it.
Hug him if he's got his hands
Touchdown,
up.
Zach McDonald with a reception. And we're an extra point away from being tied.
That was a great call. Now, you probably won't see it unless you get replay, and you're going to get it here in just a second. But that was a tremendous throw by Mata. It wasn't as clean as you probably wanted it to be.
He bought himself just
He
enough
bought
time.
enough time, and he threw a perfect pass to McDonald. That was a great, great, great throw. They needed that one. They needed that.
Play to Maya now on to try the extra point.
It's a good young kicker for Smithson Valley. He's missed a few, but he's got a tremendous leg and a bright future for him.
It's out of the hold of Mata. He's got it. We're 4:54 away from halftime, and we're dead even at 7. We'll be back with more in a moment right here on the Ranger Network.
Coach, I can't believe we've been shooting these commercials for 10 years.
Man, time flies.
Indeed it does. You know, one of my favorites is when they dumped that ice water on you on the sideline. That was great. I think it was the middle of November. Oh, and remember when we turned a 300-pounder loose on you and he was knocking the silly out of you? Man, I can't wait to see what we're going to do this year.
This year's my pick.
Ferris Orthodontics.
That's what I'm talking about.
Release the sharks!
Well, 4:54 left to go before halftime. We just saw Mata with a 3-yard pass to McDonald to even this thing up. Well, following the extra point, we're evened up at 7, and the Rangers getting set to kick off. It's in the air. It goes out of bounds. I guess he'll. In an instance like that, do you have him re-kick it, or you just take it?
Well, I think it depends on how confident you are in your kicking game. And in this case, Judson's going to take the ball offensively because, you know, I'm a little bit partial, but I think Smithson Valley is a little bit better in the kicking game. Now they've had 2 big miscues tonight, so who knows? But I'd make Smithson Valley kick it to me again if I was Judson, because I got some guys back here that are really, really handy with the football under their arm.
Well, you do. You've got returning kickoffs. You had Anthony Evans and, of course,
Jeremiah Dunn was the one right there.
Jeremiah Dunn, who was back there that time.
Yeah, put the ball in Jeremiah's hands and see if Smithson Valley can get to him. He's a really fine football player.
Well, apparently they're going to give the Rockets the ball at their own 30-yard line for a 1st and 10. Two receivers far side and a single receiver to the near side for quarterback Michael Burrows. As he looks far side and has a man. Oh, big hole that time. You were just talking about him, and he almost broke one for a touchdown. Is Jeremiah Dunn. Big pickup that time for the Rocket offense.
Yeah, just a short pitch and catch, and safety overran it, and Jeremiah Dunn made him miss and got north and south in a hurry going up the hash mark.
That's a 30-yard reception.
I don't know who that was. It might have been Gavin Wood that tripped him up.
Yeah, just made a touchdown saving tackle there because
sure.
Dunn was off to the races. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage, the Smithson Valley 40-yard line. Burrows this time looking near side and has Dunn once again. Trying to turn it up around the 35. Has run out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Is over to make the stop. That was Wyatt Hanson. Hanson from his linebacker position.
It's good to see Hanson back out on the field. He got dinged up a couple of weeks ago.
That'll be 2nd and 4 now. Line of scrimmage is the Smithson Valley 34-yard line. Under center. Burrows looking far side and has a man over there. This time, nothing doing there as the receiver is wrapped up. Good defensive play. We've called his name quite a bit. Eggleston, once again with a stop for Smithson Valley.
Yeah, Judson's really doing a nice job of just kind of taking what they're giving them. You know, they're going to float off of them a little bit and, run the safeties in the alley on the number 2 receivers. They're just going to, no different than handing the football off, and it's a little bit easier.
Well, Evans that time with a catch, and now it's 3rd and 1 for Judson. Here's Burrows as he decides to keep it and trudge ahead for a Judson 1st down.
Yeah, Judson's pretty fast-paced anyway, so they don't have, little 3.5 minutes left is a lot of time on the clock for them. Smithson Valley needs to play some good 1st down defense and get them into a 2nd and long.
This time Burrows with 2 receivers to the near side and a single receiver to the far side on a 1st and 10 from the Smithson Valley 27. Burrows once again looking to air it out and does. This time has a man. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. What a catch it was, too, at about the 1-yard line. Goes Nathaniel Stanley.
That was a really good catch because that was pretty decent coverage by the corner by Eggleston.
And that sets up a 1st and goal for the Rockets. Line of scrimmage is the Ranger 2. Here it comes the give to Stanley. Nothing doing there. The defense turned him away that time. He's over to make the stop. That was Malachi Lane, looks like, from his linebacker position.
Yeah, Malachi and a handful of others had to get him down. He's tough.
Okay.
Nathaniel's a good, strong runner.
So it's now 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage is the 1-yard line. This time they're saying it's over, as I believe it was Burrows with a keeper. And he gets into the end zone. And that's another Judson Rocket touchdown with 2:29 left to go before halftime.
They had the two big passes on that drive. Didn't take much time. A little bubble screen and then a kind of back shoulder fade, if you will, to number 5.
So the extra point up and good for Judson. We've got 2:29 left to go before halftime. And the Rockets once again back up by 7 as they lead 14-7 over Smithson Valley. More Ranger football in a moment right here on the Ranger Network.
Join us for the Seth Strong Foundation Halloween 5K tomorrow morning, Saturday, October 23rd. Race starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bulverde Spring Branch Activity Center. The mission of the Seth Strong Foundation is to facilitate the love of Christ by supporting local families experiencing a life-threatening illness of a child. All proceeds from the race will benefit the Seth Strong Foundation to provide support to local families. Log on to athleteguild.com now to register. We'll see you tomorrow morning to support Seth Strong.
Back in Spring Branch, Texas, Ranger Field here on the campus of Smithson Valley High School. And Coach, a couple of big passing plays that time. Eventually got the Rockets into the end zone on that drive.
Yeah, it didn't take them too long with those two big plays. Hopefully there's enough time left for Smithson Valley to do something with it.
Hit going to the far side, and it's handled by the Rangers. That's Clark. He comes out to about the 25-yard line, 35-yard line, and that's where the Rangers will go to work 1st and 10.
You got 2.5 minutes left here, so that's plenty of time. I believe they have all their Smithson Valley's got 2 timeouts and can make for a long ending to the half.
So that is the case on this 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line. Mata's got a single receiver either side, lone back in the backfield. He unloads and has a man at the 40. Bringing that one in is the receiver. That is T.J. Hunt. He makes a nice catch to try to get the Rangers moving. Going to pick up a bait at 2nd and 2. This time he comes near side.
That's Little Befetus. I can't help but call him Little Befetus. I told you that before the game started. I've known him since he was in a diaper, and he'll always be Little Befetus to me. But that's Braden. He's had a great year for him. That was a big play there, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock also.
And giving the Rangers a 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 now. Line of scrimmage, the Smithson Valley 46. That's one thing we've noticed from both offenses. They can get it done and get it done in a hurry. Right now, ball is on the Rangers side. As Mata drops back, unloads. Just totally overthrew his intended receiver on the far side of the field. And once again, that was intended for T.J. Hunt.
Well, you're sitting at 2 minutes, 2 timeouts left, so that's enough time to run the football a little bit if you feel like you need to.
Oh, yeah, sure. As you mentioned, they have 2. Yeah, they got their 2 timeouts left. So,
and they're in their 2-minute drill, it looks like. So
2nd and 10 now from the 46-yard line. Befetus in motion. The snap. Fake give on the give around. I believe that's Befetus, but they got him wrapped up. He was wrapped up and dropped that time over defensively to make the stop. We'll check that as number 46, Jaleel Muhammad. So it's a loss of 3. It's 3rd and 13 now for Smithson Valley, and they do indeed take a timeout.
Well, this will be interesting here to see what happens. You got 3rd and 13 or 14. Judson used that timeout. They're trying to save some clock. So if they can make Smithson Valley punt, they get the ball back with depending on what happens here. They could get the ball back with a minute or so left with at least one, maybe two timeouts.
Well, the ball being at the 43. Now, let me ask you: is this two down territory?
No, not for Smithson Valley. Not at this point in the ball game. I think if they don't get it here, they're going to punt Judson back and then play defense and try to go in at the half 14-7. If they don't get something done here, you never know with Coach Hill's play calling what's going to happen.
Yeah, Mata's been rather successful thus far throwing the football this evening. A couple of overthrows, but the ones that he's hit, he's been right on target and been able to pick up a good chunk of the field. So we'll see what gives now on a 3rd and 13 line of scrimmage. Is the Smithson Valley 43. We've got a minute 27 left to go before halftime. And the Rangers trailing Judson 14-7. Two receivers out to the far side for Mata, who takes the snap. The action. Feeling a little pressure. Mata decides to take off. He'll get to midfield before he's wrapped up. He'll be stopped shy of a first down, but that's another good feature about Mata is he could have been thrown for a loss and instead make something out of it.
He did a great job of escaping disaster right there, no question.
Ends up picking up 7, and once again another timeout on the field by Judson, so they'll have one timeout as they'll get the ball back now with under a minute left. So defensively, what are you seeing, say, from your vantage point here, that Judson needs to do to be able to, contain, rather Smithson Valley needs to do to be able to contain Judson a little bit more?
Well, I mean, they're doing a good job. It's hard to, with the district that you play and the opponents that you play, no matter who you are, New Braunfels, Judson, Smithson Valley, Clinton, doesn't matter. You're playing some really fine football players. So they're going to have their time where they're going to make plays. You just have to win more plays than they do in order to win the football game. And right now, Judson's winning a few more plays than Smithson Valley. Judson's winning the big play category, if you will. They've got more big plays than Smithson Valley does right now. And Valley's going to have to hit on a couple of those, and I feel certain that that'll happen at some point.
This punting situation, of course, for Smithson Valley is Osorio comes on to punt this away. And Judson, unless I'm missing something, doesn't have anybody deep.
No, they're playing the fake all the way.
Here's the punt, takes the Smithson Valley roll. They're going to down this. Whoa, inside the 1, looks like. Boy, that's that special teams play once again.
Yeah, I don't know what the penalty here is. It'll be interesting to see.
A couple of Judson players up there as we're looking at Johnny Bowens, along with Traylon Payne having a word with the official. They're coming over to discuss this. I didn't even see a penalty marker thrown. We'll check this out. Once again, 49 seconds left to go before halftime. Judson on top 14-7, and here goes the call.
Must have been a 15-yard penalty,
personal foul.
Hit the snapper, I think is what he said.
Wow, okay, so that's going to be an automatic first down.
That's automatic
apparently,
first down.
For Smithson Valley. So that's going to move the ball to the 35-yard line, that being the Judson 35. And give the Ranger offense a new lease on life.
New lease on life. 50 seconds and 2 timeouts. A chance to put some points on the board.
Mata dropping back, looking far side, unloads. Pass is incomplete. And that was intended for, let's check that.
That's
number 6,
McDonald.
Yeah, Zach McDonald. That'll bring up second. 10 yards to go. But a great opportunity if Judson has hurt themselves anyway this evening thus far. You say with a 7-point lead, it has been with penalties at the wrong time.
Yeah, they've been somewhat heavily penalized this season, it seems like, in most games.
So a 2nd and 10, 35-yard line. Here goes Clark in motion. Here's the handoff. Coming near side, it's McCracken. Out across the 30, down to around the 27-yard line, I believe is where they're going to mark him. Over to make the stop that time for Judson. That was Julius Calhoun.
It's a nice little move by McCracken. He makes that safety miss pretty good. He's shifty.
And I think Smithson Valley has taken a timeout with 38 seconds left to go. And why not? You're the good opportunity to put some points on the board before halftime. And hopefully get this thing knotted up once again. If not, at least get a little bit closer for second half play. Ball's going to be at the 27-yard line when we return. It'll be a 3rd and 2. Rangers having a bit of success running the football this evening. McCracken has looked awful good carrying, and so is Malachi Lane for that matter. Getting those big yards when needed. So 38 seconds left, as we mentioned. The Rocket defense comes back onto the field. And here come the Rangers with McCracken in the backfield. Receiver either side on this 3rd and 2 for Mata. To give on a reverse, pulling up the pass is Clark. Got a man. Touchdown, Smithson Valley.
It's Domel.
Huge play, Clark to Domel with 32 seconds left to go in the half. And the Rangers an extra point away from tying this up. Great call that time.
Yeah, I mean, a little razzle-dazzle. When you go back to it, that's a great play, but the chance was given to him by Judson by having a personal foul and giving him football back. Otherwise, Judson's got the ball to possibly run the clock out and go in, but if it didn't, they got penalized. Smithson Valley took advantage of it, and hopefully he's fixing to tie the game up with this extra point.
Out of the hold of Mata. Extra point coming. And with 32 seconds left to go before halftime, we're dead even once again. Our score, Smithson Valley 14, Judson 14. Back with more in a moment here on the Rangers Network. Back with you here at Smithson Valley High School, Ranger Stadium, and this one so far is everything it's been advertised to be. It's what you would expect from a Smithson Valley Judson contest, and we're gonna. It looks like, barring anything, with 32 seconds left to go, maybe tied up going into the halftime locker room.
Well, I've seen plenty of these games before. There's no telling what will happen in this last 32 seconds.
Exactly. That's why I tried to backtrack there.
I know. I got you. I know.
So 32 seconds left to go. We're going to the Smithson Valley Rangers about to kick off to Judson, as we were talking. Dunn back to receive the kickoff deep. This one, I just squirted, almost recovered by Smithson Valley.
I don't know who got it. Looks like Smithson Valley did.
Rangers are saying they have it, and that basically constitutes an onside kick, and the Rangers are going to have the football once again.
The kicking game is causing lots of havoc tonight on everybody.
I tell you, those special teams, as you were mentioning, and I keep harking back to it, now penalty markers fly. We'll see what this is all about.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the penalty would be on here. Unless they say he didn't give the kid an opportunity to catch the football, because he almost caught the ball in the air. I don't know who it was. Number 20, was that De Hoyos? Or number 10. I'm not sure which player it was.
Check that out. The explanation now being given to Coach Hill. So I don't know. Apparently, this may be going against Smithson Valley. The way it looks like
I think they're going to say that the Smithson Valley. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but they didn't give the Judson kid an opportunity to field the ball. But there was no fair catch signaled.
Right.
So I'm not so sure you have to.
Well, here comes a call.
Defense is going out for Smithson Valley.
So, yeah, this one will be against the Rangers. So it looked like almost a miracle there before halftime. Gets taken away.
I don't know what I couldn't hear what he was.
It'll be Judson football now. Let's see. Check this out. Here's the replay. And there was no.
No, it was way back up here on the 40. I think it had something to do with them interfering with the opportunity for their kid to catch the football. That's a 15-yard.
So they're going to.
Smithson Valley's going to re-kick.
So apparently they're going to re-kick.
I don't think they know. Maybe.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough call. Needless to say, I sure wouldn't. Well, don't envy those people that have to make the calls. I wouldn't want to be down there.
I would not want to be in a stripe. I would not want to be in a striped shirt right now.
No.
Because they had better be right. You know, I mean, there's a lot weighing on this game.
Right, and they're still trying to get things sorted out, apparently.
I've never seen this. I've never seen a 15-yard penalty, a re-kick. And, you know, there's a lot of things I hadn't seen, but maybe it just hasn't happened yet. Again, I'd like to have heard what he said. I couldn't hear up here.
Yeah, they didn't quite. It wasn't audible from our perspective.
Correct.
All right. Well, let's tee this thing up and do it all over again.
Yeah.
It looks like the return man up a little bit. They'll be standing at the 15-yard line for Judson as we prepare to tee this up and get it kicked off once again.
So a 15-yard penalty. Well, if you're Judson, you're probably feeling pretty good about it. But did no time run off the clock during all of that mess?
Apparently, yeah. 32, I think.
It was 32. And
yeah, 3 seconds. 3 seconds came off the clock.
Out of all that ruckus down there.
Here we go. And we're back to play. This one high. Sail out of bounds near the 40. And
they're going to get the ball up around 45.
Right.
That's 3 times he's kicked out of bounds tonight. He's trying to kick it high and right, and he keeps pushing it out of bounds.
So now the Ranger defense comes on the field to hold off the final 29 seconds.
I knew this would be a long end of the half.
Yeah, first at the 45. You are correct, Coach. The Judson 45. Yeah, that's correct. And here come the Rocket offense momentarily.
I think that what they said was he interfered with the fair catch. Didn't give the kid an opportunity to catch a ball, but the problem was that I don't think there was a fair catch.
There was no
signal.
indication for a fair catch that I saw. All right.
Anyway, here we go.
2 receivers far side, and single receiver to the near side for Burrows and the Judson offense. Handoff straight ahead. It's Nathaniel Stanley. Bang out to near the 50-yard line.
I think they might take the ball and go in at halftime. I can't imagine why they just don't at least take one shot down the field. You know, they got some really good receivers. They've had some big plays already in the throwing game. You know, why wouldn't you take a shot?
Right. Well, as the clock comes to 0, we get set for a second half and almost started all over again as we go into the halftime locker room with our score: Smithson Valley 14, Judson 14. We'll be back with more in a moment right here on the Ranger Network.
Just witnessed is a classic case of Snack-a-Crack-a-Toothus, the surprising moment when enjoying a tasty treat turns into months of restorative dentistry. Lucky for Coach Worstifer, at Summerhill Dental we offer same-day crowns and, if need be, 3D guided implants to fight Snack-a-Crack-a-Toothus, one Ranger at a time.
Join us for the Seth Strong Foundation Halloween 5K tomorrow morning, Saturday, October 23rd. Race starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bulverde Spring Branch Activity Center. The mission of the Seth Strong Foundation is to facilitate the love of Christ by supporting local families experiencing a life-threatening illness of a child. All proceeds from the race will benefit the Seth Strong Foundation to provide support to local families. Log on to athleteguild.com now to register. We'll see you tomorrow morning to support Seth Strong.
In August 2021, the Comal ISD Board of Trustees approved an election package that included both a VA TRE and a bond package. These elections will be presented together on the ballot as 5 propositions. Proposition A is the VA TRE, which is a voter-approved tax ratification election required by the state legislature to ask voters to approve a modified tax rate. With voter approval in November, the VA TRE will provide teachers and staff with a 3% pay increase and auxiliary personnel and paraprofessionals with a $1.50 hourly pay increase in 2021. The bond package begins with Proposition B, which will include funding for 4 new campuses to address growth throughout the district. Elementary number 19 will be located off of Highway 46 South and will provide relief for Clear Spring and Freiheit Elementaries. Elementary number 20 will be located across from Danville Middle School and will provide relief for Garden Ridge and Morningside Elementaries. Middle School number 8 will be located south of FM 1863 and Highway 281 and will provide relief for Piper Ranch Middle School. Finally, a new campus will be built for Hill Country College Preparatory High School to support additional student enrollment and to expand the programs offered. Beyond the construction of new schools, Proposition B will fund several infrastructure and reinvestment projects at existing campuses, including new playgrounds, safety and security projects, and the purchase of land and 85 new buses. Proposition C will fund athletic facility improvements throughout the district to maintain the district standard. Some projects include a new field house and golf practice facility at Smithson Valley and Canyon High Schools, football field regrading for Mountain Valley Middle School, and a field house and tennis court facility included in Phase 2 for Davenport High School. Proposition D will fund a stadium capacity expansion, a new press box and ticketing for Canyon Lake High School, and stadium capacity expansion and a new press box included in Phase 2 for Davenport High School. Proposition E will fund instructional technology to replace outdated student and teacher computers and for network security improvements. The VA TRE and bond package are being presented as 5 propositions due to recent changes in state law brought on by Senate Bill 30. Perhaps the biggest question some have when an election is being called is, how will this affect my taxes? If the VA TRE is approved by voters in November, the tax rate for 2021 would increase by less than 2 cents. For Bond 2021, although state law requires that the ballot language state this is a property tax increase, this bond package with Propositions B, C, D, and E will not have an impact on the current total tax rate. Early voting will begin October 18th and end October 29th, with Election Day set for November 2nd. Find more information about the VA TRE and Bond 2021 elections by visiting our website at www.comalisd.org.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the Smithson Valley Rangers. We are happy to be part of tonight's game between the Rockets and the Rangers. Go Rangers!
Whoa, what brings you here to? Whoa. Well, I heard my wife talking to her friends that y'all work miracles, so I thought maybe you could do something with this.
We absolutely help women, children, and men, but I'm gonna have to call in the reinforcements.
Dermatology San Antonio can do this for me. Just think what they can do for you.
Coach, this is the year. Give me a chance. I get to try out? Yes!
This is the year. Get your guns up. Get your guns up.
You know, this is the third time he's tried out for the team, and I don't think he's going to make it this time either.
Yep, and this never gets old.
Dr. Embry, would you like a try?
Absolutely.
Hey Fuller, does your dad insure this?
No, but if it was a car, he would.
Hey Fuller, what about this?
No, but if it was your parents' house, he would. Okay, listen. If it's auto, home, life, or business, my dad can insure it.
Ugh.
Let's go Rangers!
Welcome to Slide Talk. I'm Andrew Kim, Superintendent of Schools for Comal Independent School District. Joining me once again today is our CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Crystal Hermish, to talk more about Proposition A. So, first of all, I've been reading the ballot language for Proposition A. It is one that's written by the state of Texas, not by the school district. And let me tell you, it can be confusing. It is confusing. So when I read the ballot language, first of all, it talks about this notion of 14% increase from the year before, which generates $26 million. So is my tax rate increasing by 14.7%? Because let me tell you, some people have told me, Andrew, is the tax rate increasing by 14%? And that is not the case.
No, we're looking at less than a 2-cent increase over last year's tax rate.
So in reality though, how much is that for the average homeowner in our school district?
It's approximately $14 a month for the average homeowner of around a home of $355,000.
Okay, so would you mind telling me Proposition A generates how much for the district?
The additional 1.63 cents that we're asking for over last year generates around $9 million in additional revenue to the district.
So then why is the $26 million there?
So Andrew, this is how the property tax revenue works. Last year we had $178 million in local property tax revenue. We're projected this year with the TRE to bring in $204 million in local property tax revenue, which is the increase of $26 million that you see on the ballot language. But what makes up that $26 million increase is an additional $9 million that we're asking for in Proposition A. The remaining $17 million is actually making up for the decrease in state aid that we're seeing as a result of property tax values increasing.
And as you know, the expenses in the district are not going down. In fact, with student growth, we have to add more teaching positions as well as open new campuses. And what we're seeing in the district is the cost of adding teachers and opening schools is more than the additional revenue we're receiving each year.
So Crystal, how much cost is associated with increasing our compensation plan for the school district per defined by our Board of Trustees?
Well, currently the board has adopted Compensation Plan B, which is a 3% overall increase for all of our professional staff and a $1.50 increase for all of our auxiliary and paraprofessional staff. And the total cost of that is around $7.5 million.
Wow, okay. So now that's not quite $9 million. So where is the difference going to go to?
Well, as we're moving forward, we're trying to plan beyond just 1 year, and we want to be able to offer that compensation increases for the next several years, in addition to any additional positions that may be needed to address growth.
Right, because this is a long-term approach in terms of what the board has adopted for compensation.
Yes.
So, other question that's coming up quite a bit out there when it comes to this ballot language is how do we know that these funds will be going to teachers and staff raises and won't be used for other operational costs?
Well, the board adopted a resolution in June that provided that any additional funds generated from this tax increase would only go towards teacher compensation and additional positions for growth.
This makes sense. So that's for Proposition A. What about Propositions B, C, D, and E? The ballot language for those propositions states, in fact, this is a property tax increase. Would there be an additional increase in these 4 propositions if they were to pass?
No, there isn't a tax rate increase associated with all 4 of the bond propositions. Required by the legislature, all bond propositions have the language that this is a property tax increase, regardless of whether the rate is going up or not.
I think I understand now, and I really appreciate you educating me on these things. So, once again, as a reminder, if you're 65 and over or have military exemptions, you do get the benefit of the lowest tax rate possible, which means Propositions A, B, C, and D will have no effect on your property taxes. Once again, thank you for joining Slide Talk. I want to remind everyone listening that early voting is going on, so please, at this time, if you haven't voted, please go out and vote, and we would appreciate certainly any feedback. Thank you very much for joining me for Slide Talk.
Coach, I can't believe we've been shooting these commercials for 10 years.
Man, time flies.
Indeed it does. You know, one of my favorites is when they dumped that ice water on you on the sideline. That was great. I think it was the middle of November. Oh, and remember when we turned the 300-pounder loose on you and he was knocking the silly out of you? Man, I can't wait to see what we're going to do this year.
This year's my pick.
Orthodontics.
That's what I'm talking about.
Release the sharks!
It isn't Taco Tuesday without the freshest tortillas. That's why H-E-B bakes tortillas fresh in store. Your kids won't eat tacos on Tuesday or any day without their favorite toppings. Good thing H-E-B has it all, including guacamole made fresh in store. It's been a really long week, and it's still only Tuesday. That's why H-E-B does all the shopping for you, so you can just pick it up with free curbside. No store does more to bring the best to your door. Shop the app or online and pick up curbside free at H-E-B.
When you've got a big day ahead, rest easy knowing that your home is protected by GVTC Connect Home Security System. The Skybell uses a high-definition camera and speakers, letting you see and chat with who's at the door. Our Total Connect 2.0 app is your home security headquarters. GVTC Connect Home. Always on, always connected, always safe.
Bob, welcome back. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
You're my first Comal Cruising back from the pandemic.
All right.
Yeah, so welcome. And what a great topic to start off our new series of Comal Cruising, but to talk about growth and the growth in our area when it comes to construction, housing market, and you name it, student enrollment. But Bob, just to kind of get all of our constituents out there and those who are watching this, it's probably maybe a couple people, by the way, who knows. But Bob, what do you do for our school district? And yeah, why don't you explain to our viewers out there what you do?
Sure. Well, Templeton Demographics is a consulting firm, and we specialize in helping fast growth school districts by doing very detailed housing research, and we turn that housing research into enrollment projections so that we can help the school district plan when and where to build schools so they can understand how fast their enrollment is going to be growing.
Well, I'll tell you what, certainly when this past year, the pandemic year, COVID year, I guess, whatever we're calling that, I was quite frank with you. I think we talked about this. I thought we're going to have a pause. We're going to have a sort of a pause in growth of enrollment of students, so I was worried about that in some sense, but maybe in some sense I thought that we'll get a little break, a year's worth of break of not having increased enrollment so that we can kind of maybe catch up to some degree. But unfortunately or fortunately, that's not the case.
That's true, and it was a very unusual year in so many ways. In fact, a year ago, we thought that the housing market could slow because of concerns with the economy.
That was 2019-2020 school year.
Yes, and so...
Or 2020-2021 school year, I should say.
Yes, and all the signs were, when you looked at the unemployment rate shot up over 13%.
Right.
And normally, we would see a slowdown in housing.
Right.
But not this time. We actually saw the opposite. We saw an increase in housing activity during the past year.
Which during the pandemic year?
During the pandemic year.
Yeah, what do you attribute that to, Bob? I mean, just out of, I don't know, it seems kind of contrary to what was happening other places, perhaps, in the country and our state, maybe.
There's a couple of factors that probably helped facilitate that. And one of those was with we did see an increase in virtual learning. Well, we saw a big increase in remote work.
Sure.
So a lot of families were able to kind of pivot, and that might have been in apartments were thinking, wow, I need to get into a house with more space. And so we did see a real movement that happened from those younger families to get into housing. Also, the affordability at the time was good. The interest rates were low.
Right. Not anymore, but...
The interest rates are still okay, but the cost has gone up due primarily to the inflation on materials and labor.
You also attribute the migration of those from outside the state coming to Texas, specifically around here, of course, Central Texas, Hill Country, Comal ISD. We see on the ground, talking with our principals as they enroll new parents, new students into our schools, majority of them, a good number of them are coming from places like California and other places.
That's so true. Texas has had a really good year in terms of corporate relocations and especially tech jobs in the Austin area. And the Comal School District is close enough to Austin that some of the families that live in Comal are likely working in Austin. They're also working in San Antonio. And so the big boom has been Austin has been the focal point for Texas with the Tesla, Oracle, Samsung expansions. And, you know, it's just really putting the bullseye on Central Texas.
Yeah. Well, so what's your outlook here, looking at the crystal ball that you do look at, for the upcoming year, which is the 21-22 school year?
Well,
post-pandemic year, of course.
Yes. You know, it's interesting because for the last 5 years, every year has been a record-breaking year for new home construction.
Right.
5 years ago, we were doing, 1,600 homes a year.
Right.
We're now going to be doing 2,800 homes for this year. And it's possible that we could be seeing more than 3,000 homes per year within the not too distant future. So 2021-22, that school year will be another record-breaking year for new home construction. And then we're going to have a record-breaking year for enrollment growth.
The old adage about availability of water, infrastructure, you're talking about these are homes that are already ready to go with all of that stuff ready to go.
That's true. These are subdivisions and communities that have already been platted and permitted, and they're active.
Yeah.
And so you've got about 2,800 vacant developed lots that are on the ground ready for builders to build on today.
Yeah.
There's another 2,800 lots that are in development that will be delivered within the next, say, 6 to 10 months. And those lots have already been gone through the infrastructure pipeline, so the utilities are available for those that are already in development.
As we're cruising around Comal ISD here, obviously this is the series that we're relaunching here. The construction and the traffic issues, a lot of density of home development, especially in this area that we're going to be driving through right here. Where are these folks migrating from? Is it still going to keep on, pretty robust here for the next few years? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, there is still a migration coming from California. In fact, I live in the Marble Falls area, and I've met 2 new neighbors that have recently moved from California.
I have many.
And it is the relocation of jobs, it's the cost of living in Texas, and it's a multiple of factors that are causing the migration. We're also seeing it from the Northeast, the Chicago area,
the
Midwest, and so Texas is just it's still the fastest growing state in the country. We'll see that again when the 2020 census is released, that Texas will be the fastest growing state again.
The comparison of our school district, who's also, I figure, as we talked about in the past, we're probably in the top 5, if not in the top 3 fastest growing in the state of Texas, I would think.
That's true. And, we work primarily with fast growth districts. The closest one that has similar housing and similar geography would be the Denton School District.
Is that right?
They're pretty big, but they're not as big geographically as you are.
They're not. We're 589 square miles there, Bob.
That's right. And you've got growth in multiple areas. So it almost feels like you're the equivalent of 4 school districts.
It does feel like that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to be sorry in talking about it, but it's like running 4 different types of school district.
Yes.
Here in Comal School District.
You've got the 281 corridor, the Smithson Valley corridor, the I-35 corridor, and the Canyon Lake area. So easily you can kind of geographically see 3. Then Garden Ridge could almost be a 4th area.
Well, and like you said, though, you're right. What we see on the ground is that growth is happening in all those areas you just mentioned. So it's not just in one particular area. It's all over the place.
That's right.
And that makes it really more complex. Have you ever seen something like that in your career?
No, you're pretty unique. Like I said, the closest one is Denton. Now, Prosper is building as many homes, but they're not as big geographically.
They're not.
They will run through their building cycle in about 8 to 10 years.
Is that right?
You're going to be growing for 25 years or more. There's that much land here that, and when we look at some of the future developments that we're watching, these are big, massive master plan developments that are in the works.
Yeah, the demand seems to be there, meaning the buyers. Certainly parents with kids, young kids, who are looking for, hopefully, what they will consider us to be a great school district to invest a large dollar amount of money to buy a home these days, compared to my first starter home back in the day. And so I think that has a lot of things, but you're right. I think the supply chain issue, construction prices are going up quite a bit right now.
That's true. The lower the price point, typically the younger the family. So we see more elementary kids from those homes that are priced below $250,000. That's actually maybe moving up to $300,000.
I know. It's hard to find a price point of that low nowadays.
It is. So then when you get above $450,000 and you get into $450,000, $600,000 range, we tend to see middle school age kids.
Yeah.
And some high school.
And I think one of the things I talk about with our school board as well as our taxpayers out there is that we are not trying to build, if we're only growing at the high school level, I don't think we need to go ahead and build, let's say, new schools, because they're going to age themselves out. But what we're seeing right now, I think the information that you provided us over the years, is that we're growing elementary students.
That's true, yes. Well, the enrollment growth is looking like it could be at about 1,500 to 1,800.
You got to be kidding me.
Additional students, yes.
Because we typically hover around 900 to 1,000 kids from a year changeover, Bob. So you're now saying somewhere around that number, which is actually a little scary to me. I'm serious.
1,500 to 1,800.
Is that right?
Yes.
Are you really saying that?
I'm saying that.
Wow.
And it's partially the COVID return.
Yeah.
Because we did, even though you did grow at a good number, you still had some families that
absolutely
didn't participate at those younger grade levels. I'm talking pre-K kindergarten.
Absolutely.
So there's going to be a surge of pre-K kindergarten plus this increase in housing growth that's going to push that growth rate to about 1,500.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Bob. For the first one coming back to come out cruising, I know for some of our viewers it may not be as significant, but when you say 1,500 to 1,800 numbers of new students coming to our school district starting in August of 2021 here, I'm a little bit, I'm going to need to take a long vacation here.
Well, and you probably will be one of the fastest growing school districts in the state.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to need to go ahead and come back in sometime around September to see how these numbers pan out. But if construction and developments around here shows anything, I tend to agree with you now about that number. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, Bob, thanks for joining.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you,
Yes.
and you're the first one back
All
to
right.
the Come Out Cruising.
That's great.
So, all right.
I enjoyed it.
Appreciate it very much, Bob.
You're welcome.
Back with you now from halftime. Here's a few highlights of the first half. You notice there Egley's second interception of the year for Smithson Valley. He comes away with that one.
You got a block extra point here after a miscue on the kicking game. I think that was blocked by Malachi Lane, which is a big play, kept him off the board.
And you can't say enough about that. Now, here's the first touchdown of the game for Smithson Valley. Nice strike to McDonald there in the corner of the end zone to put the Rangers on the board. At that point, little celebration, and then Coach Hill goes to his bag of tricks.
Yeah, after a penalty on Judson, Clark reaches out on the reverse pass and hits Domel with a really great catch in the corner of the end zone. Put it where it is right now.
Absolutely, another touchdown for Domel. He's got that would make his sixth on the season, as he had 5 coming into this one. We're tied at 14 as we're just getting underway here, second half. I'm not sure. I guess there was something happened. I guess they weren't ready to begin. So Rockets will tee this up and try to kick it off all over again. If you recall, the Rangers won the coin toss and deferred to the second half. So they will have the football to start play here in the final 24 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to kick it short somewhere.
And we're off. You're absolutely right. This one handled at the 40. At about the 45-yard line goes Mason Birch, who's a junior tight end. up on special teams to handle that. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers. They're going to spot this at their own 46-yard line. So not bad field position for Smithson Valley to get the second half started.
No, a really good field position. Now we'll see what kind of adjustments everybody makes at halftime. You know, sometimes it's probably a little overrated, but obviously there's some things that each school has changed.
Derek Mata, a couple of receivers to the near side, and a lone back in the backfield on this first down, and that's Malachi Lane getting the call. Get a couple of yards before he's pushed back. Some tough running there by Lane. Going to stop Johnny Bowens the third for the Rockets. Give him a gain of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 48-yard line.
There's some battles going on in the trenches right now between that big offensive line and Judson's defensive line. There's some good play going on.
Absolutely. Once again, 2 receivers come to the near side for Mata on this 2nd and 8. Mata, the handoff. Nice hole that time. Lane gets out into Judson territory as he crosses the 45 down to around the 43-yard line. That ought to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, that's a nice crease there, and Malachi got in it in a hurry. I mean, against Judson, you may have a hole to run through, but you better get through there because it's going to close up in a hurry with their speed. And he hit it in a hurry, and obviously got 8 to 9 yards, picked up the first down.
One thing we're seeing from the Smithson Valley running game is it'll make this statement. It sure is nice to have a pair like McCracken and Lane as your backfield, one spelling the other. It's 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the Judson 44. Once again, yes, Lane, as he bangs out to about the 41-yard line. Making the stop for Judson that time, that was Trevlin Payne. Trevlin Payne, big leader on that Rocket defense. Pair of sacks this season. 63 tackles, 44 solo, and 19 assists.
Yeah, he shows up a lot on defense. He's a really fine player.
2nd and 7 now for Smithson Valley. Mata the give once again. Why not? Look at Malachi Lane.
Malachi got a little confused, didn't know which way to go. He started to cut, and then he decided, I'm just going to go straight at it. But either way, that's like you said, it's a great lane to run in.
Absolutely. He'll take the ball all the way down to the 29-yard line. That moves the chains. First down, Rangers. As they're moving the football here to start the second half. Checking into the ball game now, tight end Skylar Soward. 1st and 10 for Derek Mata and crew. Goes Clark in motion once again. Sure, give it to Lane. He's moving those legs and gets down across the 25-yard line. Or he'll be met there, getting up off the bottom of that pile. We'll check that young man's number. That is, it's like Chancellor Edwards from his defensive back position for Judson. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clark goes flank to the far side. Playing in the backfield as Mata and the offense look over to the sidelines. 2nd down, sure. Malachi Lane once again. Across the 20 and get down to the 19-yard line before Alan Garancio makes a stop for Judson.
Pick up another first down there, Roland. So pretty good drive right here. To start off the second half for Smithson Valley. Running the ball, have yet to throw the football. So that might be the statement they might want to make right now is we've got to run the football to win the football game.
Yeah, well, it could be. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage is the Judson 19. Here's the give, sure. It's Malachi Lane as he gets out across the 10, the 5, into the end zone. He drops the ball.
Touchdown.
But that's it. It's a touchdown for Malachi Lane. With 8:14 left to go here in the third, and the Smithson Valley Rangers have their first lead of the ball game.
Chill just decided to get a little stubborn there and give him a dose of the offensive line and Malachi Lane, and that was an impressive drive. That'll take a little bit out of you defensively.
Tulane finds pay dirt with 8:14 left to go in the third quarter. Extra point attempt coming by Clayton Amaya. And they're saying they missed this one. So let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt Smithson Valley. It's 20-14 with 8:14 left to go in the third. We'll be back with more in a moment right here on the Ranger Network.
Coach, I can't believe we've been shooting these commercials for 10 years.
Man, time flies.
Indeed it does. You know, one of my favorites is when they dump that ice water on you on the sideline. That was great. I think it was the middle of November. Oh, and remember when we turned a 300-pounder loose on you and he was knocking the silly out of you? Man, I can't wait to see what we're going to do this year.
This year's my pick.
Ferris Orthodontics.
That's what I'm talking about.
Release the sharks!
Back at Rangers Stadium here in Spring Branch, Texas. Nice touchdown run there from Malachi Lane. That young man does it all. He blocks field goals. He runs touchdowns, runs the ball in for touchdowns. He just does it all, playing on the defensive end of the football. And the Rangers now up 20-14. As kickoff's coming. And he's coming out of the end zone. Gets out across the 20 to about the 25-yard line. Goes the return man Jeremiah Dunn.
Jeremiah's a dangerous football player.
He is a lot of quicks on that young man. I didn't get a chance to see what he runs the 40 or anything in, but he's certainly explosive off that ball.
Yes.
This will be spotted at the 25-yard line. So Michael Burrows in the Rocket offense will take over 1st and 10. We'll send two receivers to the near side, a single receiver to the far side. Burrows hands off. This time wrapped up is the running back, Nathaniel Stanley. And Colton Scheffler, we knew we were going to talk about him quite a bit this evening, and there's just one example as he makes a big stop on the Rocket running back.
A big tackle for a loss, just a run through from the linebacker position.
That's a loss of 2. It'll be second and 12 as the ball's back on the 23-yard line. Throws the snap, unloads. He has a man breaking tackles now at midfield before he's driven down. That's the wide receiver, Anthony Evans.
Yeah, Amari had Amari McKenzie ran right out underneath that, didn't see the ball, went right by his head. They had a great call on. He overran it to break that ball up, potentially catch it and gain, interception.
Good pursuit by Eggleston that time. From midfield, the Rockets 1st and 10. Burrows unloads, looking downfield, way overthrows his intended receiver, who is Andre Jones. Back defensively for Smithson Valley. It was Jackson Duffy from his cornerback position.
Jackson Duffy's had himself a good year. They'll be glad to have him the remainder of this year and a couple more.
Yeah, Duffy just a sophomore.
Yes.
So once again, the two receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side on this second down. Burrows decides to keep it himself out across midfield and into Smithson Valley territory before he's stopped about the 47-yard line. Once again, Scheffler on the stop for the Rangers.
It's a big down here. Got him in third and 8, which is what you'd like to have him in a third long situation.
That is the case. There's once again a pair of receivers near side on this third down. Something got busted and Burrows is going to go down. He'll be thrown for a loss back to the 50. Some good heads-up defensive pursuit that time by Smithson Valley. Loss of 2 and bring up a 4th and 10. I don't know what the discussion is, but seems to be some discussion over there near where the tackle was made.
Yeah, the quarterback's helmet came off, and I don't know if it got knocked off or pulled off, or I don't know. This has been a really, really important part of Smithson Valley's football team this year right here, this punt return. See if they give them a chance to return this.
Sebastian Bernal on to punt this thing away for the Judson Rockets.
2 weeks ago, they ran one back for a touchdown and returned 2 others inside the 15-yard line.
Clark and Mafidis way back at their own 20-yard line, awaiting the punt. You see, in the delay of game called against Judson, so that backs it up 5. Clark and Mafidis once again at their 25s. They move up a bit for this punt from Sebastian Bernal.
Short punt.
Short punt. Clark handles it at about the 40. Oh, they're going to say he was down, though. He left the ball on the turf, or they're going to say he was down. So about the 40, once again, good field position, 42, 43-yard line. They get a spot at the 43.
That was close to being a touchdown. If that Judson player doesn't backtrack to Clark, because he runs by everybody to field that thing. And if he fields it clean, he's gone. It's a great hustle by the Rockets.
This time McCracken's going to join Mata in the backfield on this 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. And guess who? It is McCracken as he tries to bust out across the 45 and does. Good second effort. Got him a couple of yards that time. It's like he was stopped at near the line of scrimmage, but his forward progress got him to the 44, so he picked up a couple. Going to say a pickup of 3, actually. It'll be 2nd and 7. Mata the give. Once again, McCracken squirting through across midfield and down near the 45-yard line. Before he's met there and dropped, and then on the stop that time, Chancellor Edwards once again.
That's some good running. Just a couple of stutter steps in there and kind of makes a miss or two. Just a really fun. Doesn't look like much, but that's an excellent run right there. And if you watch the offensive line, just watch the surge that they're making right now with Judson. They're just kind of pushing and reestablishing the line of scrimmage.
Judson 47, where we start play. It's 1st and 10 for Smithson Valley. Mafidis in motion. Here's the give straight ahead. McCracken across the 45 down to around the 43-yard line. You give him a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
It was misdirection counterplay, and they got penetration on that. That's never good against that play. Get the defensive lineman.
Well, Coach, you're talking about that offensive line. I'll get back to that here in just a second. I got a question for you on that. 2nd and 7 from the 44-yard line. Pair of receivers out to the near side. Mata checks over to the sideline. 2nd and 7, short. McCracken once again. You get a couple of tough yards straight ahead before he's met there and dropped. You're talking about a surge that offensive line is putting on to the defensive line. That's an awful big offensive line, though, for Smithson Valley.
They're pretty big.
You look at Colton Thomason himself. That's quite a large young man, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I'd say quite large. What's he, 6'8", like 3-something? But they got good size across the board. He makes everybody look little because he's so big.
3rd and 7 now from the 44-yard line. Mata rolling right. Unloads, and this one, I believe, is picked off, and it is coming away with the football. It is Alan Caraccio.
Yeah, his first option was covered up, so he went to a second one. Didn't see that safety run up underneath it.
It is Mata's rolling, and Caraccio just gets in the air. His second interception of the season for Judson, that is. Time running out here in the third quarter. Smithson Valley holding on to a 6-point lead. They took their first lead of the ball game here in the third and are holding on to a 6-point advantage over Judson. It's 1st and 10 for the Rockets. Line of scrimmage is their own 33-yard line. Burrows the give, this time straight ahead, and finding a little daylight goes the running back. And that is Marvin Beasley, 175-pound senior running back. Give him a pickup of 5, it'll be 2nd and 5. Line of scrimmage, the Rocket 38. Again, 2 receivers near side, single receiver to the far side for Burrows. Burrows on the keeper, gets out across the 40. He'll be tripped up and down near that first down marker as Shepler makes the stop once again for Smithson Valley.
A yard or 2 short, looks like, from here.
Yeah, they're marking it at the 42, so they're going to call this a 3rd and 1. Burrows once again the keeper. He'll have the first down and not much more to spare. Shepler comes over to make the stop once again. It'll be first down Rockets. The 44-yard line is the line of scrimmage, that being the Judson 44. This time, Rockets line up with a pair of receivers to the far side and a single receiver to the near side. This time the handoff, nice tackle that time. Malachi Lane makes a stop on Marvin Beasley. Can't say enough about Malachi Lane this evening.
He does a lot of things for Smithson Valley, no doubt. Play was really set up by number 13. McLean Garrett, he turned the edge, turned the ball back inside, and Malachi fitted up in there and made the tackle.
A loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 now from the 43. Pass complete. Oh! Good hit that time.
That's McKenzie.
McKenzie coming over to make the stop on Jeremiah Dunn.
McKenzie's an exciting player. He makes a lot of things happen also out there on the field.
Amari McKenzie, and you know that's another loss, so it'll be 3rd and 12 now from the 42-yard line. Good heads-up play that time by McKenzie.
Judson's got some screen game in him. We haven't really seen a screen yet tonight, and this will be a pretty opportune time for one.
Burrows calls for the snap. Dropping back, looking downfield, overthrows his intended target, which is Anthony Evans. Back defensively was Camden Egley. That'll bring up a 4th down for Judson.
Defense comes up big again after turnover.
Getting a stop right when they needed it.
They need a big return if they can get one to field. They need a big return here to kind of get a little more, just get something going on. Everything's kind of dead right now.
Clark and Bufitas wait back. They're waiting for the Bernal punt. This one in the air. Bufitas calling everybody off. Rangers will have the ball 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to spot this at about the 29. And that's where Mata and the Ranger offense will go to work.
Well, that's, they got, momentum's kind of going back and forth a little bit. Judson gets the pick. Of course, they're feeling good. Now they get stopped, and Smithson Valley really needs to go put some more points on the board, because I don't know if 6 is going to be enough to win it. 6-point lead.
Well, they have their opportunity now as they've got the ball on their own 29 with a 1st and 10. It's McCracken. He cracks out near the 35-yard line. Nice pickup.
He looks like he's got 1 or 2 yards and ends up being 4 or 5 most times. He's a fun little football player.
He is fun to watch.
gets behind that offensive line, you can't find him because he's not as big as they are.
They're going to give him 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. And that'll wrap up the third quarter. So fourth quarter action on the way. Our score, Smithson Valley 20, Judson 14. We're back for the final 12 in just a moment right here on the Ranger Network.
Join us for the Strong Foundation Halloween 5K tomorrow morning, Saturday, October 23rd. Race starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bulverde Spring Branch Activity Center. The mission of the Strong Foundation is to facilitate the love of Christ by supporting local families experiencing a life-threatening illness of a child. All proceeds from the race will benefit the Strong Foundation to provide support to local families. Log on to athleteguild.com now to register. We'll see you tomorrow morning to support Strong.
Back for fourth quarter action here in Spring Branch, Texas on the campus of Smithson Valley High School. Rangers take their first lead of the ball game in the third quarter. And they take it into the fourth quarter, 20-14, Smithson Valley on top of Judson. It's a 2nd and 4 from the 35-yard line. Once again, McCracken. He'll get down to about the 37. Should bring up a 3rd and short for Smithson Valley.
Well, every third down's a big third down, so I'm not even going to say this one is.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 2. Absolutely. Clark comes out to the near side. Mata checks the sidelines. Penalty markers fly. Let's see what this is. I got a feeling that's exactly what I thought.
Big penalty. Yeah, it's a big difference. Stating the obvious, though. Big difference, 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, yeah, they're going to back him up 5. A few scores from around the area we can pass along. Veterans Memorial on top of Canyon, 33-18. Reagan leads Roosevelt, 28-7, that in the third.
Mata just couldn't get his shoulder squared up on that bootleg. Defensive end did a nice job for Judson staying home and forced him to run a bubble. Then he couldn't get squared up to hit Domel. He was open. He just couldn't get it there.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 7 from the 32. I'm going to punt this away. Osorio for Smithson Valley. And he gets his right foot into this one. Nice. Going to back up Judson to about their 15-yard line. And that's where Michael Burrows and the Rocket offense will have to go to work 1st and 10.
It's a big job. Big deal flipping the field like that, giving them 85 to go. If they can stop from giving up the big play here, they'll be in pretty good shape.
Well, as you were mentioning before the game started, you looked to possibly have some explosiveness early on and some explosiveness here toward the end of the game, and that's where we are at this point, although we've just started the fourth quarter. Andre Jones comes flanked out to the near side on the 1st and 10 line of scrimmage, the Judson 15. Burrows hands off. This is Stanley, ramped up by Schempler. Also coming over to help on the tackle was Wyatt Hanson. And not much there for the Judson running back.
There's going to be some fireworks here in the next 10, 11 minutes, I bet you.
Pair of receivers to the far side on this 2nd and 9 from the 16. Single receiver near side. Burrows looking to pass, swatted away that time.
Gavin Woods, no, it's 34. Mason Birch? No, that was Gavin.
That was Gavin Woods,
That's
yeah.
why I thought, like, where'd Mason come from?
Gavin.
Anyway, Gavin Woods, and he's been a big part of everything they've done this year. So.
51 tackles on the season.
Little junior, too.
13 solo, 31 assists. And swatted that one away. It's third and nine now from the 16 for Judson. Pair of receivers either side this time for Burrows. Unloads, has a man. Finding a seam there, but he'll be dropped at about the 23-yard line.
I don't know. What do you do? It's too deep in your territory to go for it, I think, but who knows? They're going to punt.
Still a ton of time, and you're only down 6. So the Hoyas over to help put the hit on the Judson receiver. It does look like the punting team is coming in. Rangers dropping a man back now.
More of a punt safe look. They're kind of somewhat expecting maybe a fake here.
Right, Bernal punts this. They're going to let it bounce, and it'll roll out of bounds at about the Smithson Valley, well, I'll call it 42, 43-yard line. We'll see where they spot it.
Well, there's a lot of people, everybody likes to see lots of points put on the scoreboard. I don't mind watching a little defensive battle every now
Not
and
at all.
then.
Not at all.
No. And that's kind of what we've had tonight. Smithson Valley sure needs to get them a field goal position at least. At least make that 2-score game. Get it over that 6-point lead.
From the 43, it's 1st and 10 for the Rangers. Here's the handoff. This time Malachi Lane once again finds the corner across midfield, across the 40. He run out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
They're going to mark him at 45, it looks like.
They say he stepped out there?
Yeah, that's what it looks like from here. I'm with you. I'd like 32, but it doesn't look like they're giving it to him.
Well, yeah. Yeah, let's say he stepped out. Yeah. Okay.
Good job getting on the edge.
Nonetheless. From the 45, it's 1st and 10. Here comes a man in motion near side and takes the handoff. He'll be knocked down about the 45-yard line.
That's Braden Bafetus.
Little Bafetus.
Just couldn't quite get the edge or find a crease to get into, and then safety from Judson filled it up and made a nice play. I mean, you don't win every play when you're in this district or when you're playing somebody like Judson or when Judson's coaches are telling them the same thing. You don't win every play when you're playing Smithson Valley. You just got to keep playing and win more than you lose to win the game.
Win this snap, as they say.
Yes, sir.
2 receivers to the far side on this 2nd and 10 from the 45. Handoff, Lane tripped up at about the 45. They'll finally bring him down at about the 41. He's over to make the stop that time. That is a Trevelyan Payne. Or Traylon Payne, rather. Nice pick of it. And just got to be impressed with the play of Malachi Lane this evening. Third and 6 from the 41-yard line, that being the Judson 41. McDonald flanked to the far side. Here goes Bafetus in motion. Now the give to Lane. Across the 40 as he runs into his own man. They'll probably say his forward progress was stopped at about the 39.
Decision time now. I guess you go for it or try to punt them back. It looks like they may be going for it on 4th and 3.
4th and 3 from the 38. Unfortunately, on that run, he ran into Alex Freeman, his right tackle.
Yeah, he did. Alex got turned around by one of the defensive linemen from Judson.
And this is a big play. I don't know if it's too early to call it the play of the game, but
they may be just trying to get him to jump off sides.
No, 4th and 3.
Snapped it.
And they give it to Lane, and he's going to be stopped shy. Well shy. As a matter of fact, he's going to be wrapped up, and Over to make the stop that time. That was Matutia.
I think he actually lost about 3 on the play.
So the Rockets going to take over 1st and 10. The line of scrimmage will be their own 41. 6:53 left to go in the ball game. Rangers hold on to a 6-point lead. But it's a 1-score game at this point. See if that defense has another hold in him. Burrows takes the snap. Little flea flicker this time as Burrows unloads, looking downfield, has a man at the 10. Into the end zone, that's Anthony Evans. And just that quick, Judson back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, a little flea flicker. Caught somebody's eyes in the backfield, probably. It's a big extra point right here. See if we can't get the Rangers to come off the edge and block this thing and keep it tied up.
Now on to try the extra point. This is Adrian Cortez. Penalty markers fly. We'll see what this is all about.
I think Smithson Valley might have one too many on the field. Maybe.
Check that out. Did he call anything? Both teams are heading to their own respective sidelines.
Yeah, illegal participation.
There it is. So the extra point will be true, and with 6:44 left to go in the ball game, Judson now on top, 21-20. Back with more in a moment, right here on the Ranger Network.
Coach, I can't believe we've been shooting these commercials for 10 years.
Man, time flies.
Indeed it does. You know, one of my favorites is when they dump that ice water on you on the sideline. That was great. I think it was the middle of November. Oh, and remember when we turned a 300-pounder loose on you and he was knocking the silly out of you? Man, I can't wait to see what we're going to do this year.
This year's my pick.
Ferris Orthodontics.
That's what I'm talking about.
Release the sharks!
Well, a 59-yard pass play by the Judson Rockets. Sent him into the end zone. Extra point awarded, and the Rockets now hold on to a 1-point lead. It's 21-20 with 6:44 left to go in the ball game.
It's hard to tell up here if that's the second time this has happened with Judson kicking off. It's as if the ball's not set into play yet and their kicker kicks it.
That's right. That happened earlier this half, did it not?
Opening second half, yeah. So he's going to bloop it over there to Shepler, or it's hard to tell who's on 35. That might be Soward. I'm not sure yet. Can't see it.
Here's the kick handled by one of the up men at the 40. Across the 45 and in midfield, almost in midfield. Stopped just shy. Goes Dylan Domel, who handled that.
Was that Domel? I couldn't. Your eyes are better than mine, Roland.
I'm cheating. I'm using the monitor. Let's be honest.
Cheater.
See Domel with a nice return there. And the Rangers are going to have good field position. They got half the field in front of them. But they got to get back on the scoreboard. This time, single receiver out either side for Smithson Valley. On this 1st and 10, here's the handoff straight ahead. That is McCracken, I believe.
Yeah, that's McCracken for 5.
Well, the run game has brought you here thus far. Do you stay with it, Coach?
Plenty of time, too. There's no reason not to. No, you're going to have to mix in some throw. You can't just line up and just mash Judson. You're going to have to do something other than run the football. Little play-action pass every now and then, keep them honest. Try to keep the safeties out of the ball game.
Domel and McDonald to the near side on this 2nd and 5. This time, once again, McCracken bangs out across the 40 down to around the 39-yard line. That'll move the chains and give the Rangers a first down. They will mark this at the 40. So it'll be 1st and 10 from that point. This time McDonald and Clark come out to the near side. Mata looks in the direction of Clark, and he has it at the 40.
Just get what you can. He's just stick his cleats and get upfield. Just get what he can. There's some bad guys inside coming out at you. Get to the sideline and go.
Pick up there to the 37. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 from that point. You got 5 minutes straight up in the ball game. Judson now on top 21-20. 2nd and 7. Mata, the give. Coming near side, McCracken shaking tackles out to about the 29-yard line.
That's an impressive run.
Really is tough man to bring down. I tell you, Chancellor Edwards with the stop that time for Judson. But he is tough to bring down. You think you got your arms around him, he slips right out of it.
And number 9, Johnny Bowens, had him dead to rights in the backfield. And really, I don't know how he cut upfield because he had to run hard to the sideline. He ended up getting cut upfield to pick up the first down.
1st and 10 from the Judson 30. Little movement, no penalty markers. So Rockets got back. Here's the handoff. This time Malachi Lane. Across the 25, the 20, the 15, and knocked out at about the 13-yard line. Big run for Lane. Another big first down for the Rangers.
Malachi's one of those kids that you just, you wish you had a team full of. They play just about anywhere. And you talk about a good young man. He's not just a good football player. He's a nice, pleasant young man to talk to.
A good part of it is now Logan DeRazio checking into the ball game. Play that offensive line, left tackle. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage is the 11. Rangers can still pick up another first down by getting to the 1. The give, Lane across the 5 into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown of the evening. Malachi Lane and the Rangers back on top.
Yeah, they just, you can almost sense it watching them where they just, Smithson Valley just gets hard-headed and said, we're going to run the football. And if you can do something about it, do something about it, but we're not doing anything else. And that was an impressive drive. To start the half and this one here, those were 2 really impressive drives for them. Obviously, they'll be going for 2, I'm sure, to put it to 7. Sideline warning.
Sideline warning. I was wondering. I saw the official pick up the flag there, but yes, that happens a little more often than not.
It's hard to stay back on the sideline, but I understand it's a safety issue for the officials running up and down the sideline.
So the Rangers go for 2. The handoff this time, Lane's going to be stopped shy. But the Rangers still have the lead as it's 26-21 with 3:41 left to go in the ball game. Hang on, more fun on the way here on the Rangers Network.
Join us for the Seth Strong Foundation Halloween 5K tomorrow morning, Saturday, October 23rd. Race starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bulverde Spring Branch Activity Center. The mission of the Seth Strong Foundation is to facilitate the love of Christ by supporting local families experiencing a life-threatening illness of a child. All proceeds from the race will benefit the Seth Strong Foundation to provide support to local families. Log on to athleteguild.com now to register. We'll see you tomorrow morning to support Seth Strong.
Well, touchdown runs of 17 and 12 yards from Malachi Lane this evening, plus a blocked field goal attempt. We've got 3:41 left to go in the ball game. Smithson Valley retakes the lead at 26-21 as they get set to kick off to the Judson Rockets. And standing back, of course, Jeremiah Dunn. For this return.
I think that might be Andre Jones back there with him. It's hard to tell.
Here's the kick. This is sail through the back of the end zone, or actually roll out of the back of the end zone. Yeah, there's Dunn.
All right.
And Judson will take over 1st and 10 at the 25.
Well, there's a lot of time on the clock, and there's lots of timeouts on the clock. So we're in for a finale here. Smithson Valley is going to have to get a stop, obviously. Which tells you that Judson's in 4-down territory now. I don't think they'll punt. If they get in 4th down, they're not going to punt the ball and give it back to the Valley and try to hold them. So Smithson Valley's going to have to hold them on downs to get the football back, or maybe they'll give them a turnover.
Dunn and Andre Jones come out to the near side. Got 2 receivers to the far side for quarterback Michael Burrows on this 1st and 10 from the Rocket 25-yard line as we get back to play. The snap. They're going to pass this time. Pass caught by Andre Jones. He's wrapped up. Going out of bounds that time by Jackson Duffy. After a pickup, call it about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 30. So once again, the Rocket offense to the line. Burrows resets the running back Stanley. Takes the snap, unloads. Time once again, pass complete. Going to be awful close to a 1st down by Andre Jones. Matter of fact, it is a 1st down. They're going to move the chains.
He threaded a needle on that one. There's quite a few people around Jones.
1st and 10, Judson from their own 35-yard line. They got 2 receivers either side. Burrows dropping back. Burrows unloads long. This time, once again, has a man. And that's the same man, Anthony Evans. And another Judson touchdown.
Yeah, he just looks like he just ran a post and outran Eggleston to the middle of the field.
2:37 left to go in the ball game. Judson once again on top, 27-26. So in as many minutes, Anthony Evans has caught a 59-yard touchdown pass, and that one I believe was from the 35, so we'll call it 65. Burrows just waits for Evans to get behind his defender and unloads. Burrows came into tonight's game and 934 yards passing the football, well over 1,000 after tonight. And it looks like the Rockets their formation may be looking, no, they're going to go ahead.
They're going to go for 2, try to push
They are going to go for 2, yeah.
Try to push it to a field goal. Smithson Valley at least need a field goal to tie it up.
So big 2-point conversion now coming for Judson. Pass to the far side, wrapped up that time and stopped, and guess who? Number 22 in blue, Malachi Lane, with the stop, negating a 2-point attempt. And with 2:37 left to go in the ball game, it's Judson 27, Smithson Valley 26. Back with more in a moment on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Fisher's Neighborhood Market, Ferris Orthodontics, Sage Capital Bank, Wick Productions, HEB, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Dermatology San Antonio, Summerhill Dental, and Jeremy Fuller State.
2:37 left to go in the ball game, and yet again the Judson Rockets strike very quickly to take a 1-point lead. Now, Coach, you've been in this situation before. What's your best advice offensively?
Score.
What? Score? You don't get paid the big bucks for nothing, sir. I guarantee you. That one goes out of bounds. No, absolutely. But I would think at this point, one of the objectives would be eat as much of that clock as you can.
Well, you got to get. I was kidding, but I'm not. I mean, you got to get the ball down the field. You're not going to turn the ball over on downs or anything and get it back and have a chance. So you got to do something in this drive. Fortunately, they held a 2-point conversion, didn't make it. So now they don't have to. They don't have to kick a field goal to win the game. It won't just tie it and send it into overtime. So. They're well versed on the 2-minute drive, 2-minute clock, just like everybody is nowadays. They work the game. They can play fast, and we'll see what it does for them. There's no need to abandon the run. The run's been really good for them. There's 2.5 minutes, and they got 3 timeouts left. So that's a lot of time on the clock.
And if for some reason you're joining us right now, well, you're catching the meat of this right when you need to. 2:37 left to go in the ball game. It's been back and forth between Judson and Smithson Valley all night. Rockets just scored on a long touchdown pass. Rangers about to get the ball back. And the Rangers handle this at the 20, the 25. This is Clark across the 30, still on his feet, trying to find a corner there, and does at the 35. He'll be knocked down about the 38-yard line. And that's where Mata and the Ranger offense will go to work.
Clark can make things exciting in a hurry.
And as you look at the timeout situation, Smithson Valley still has 3. The Rockets have 2. So this one's going to come down to it. Mata, he'll have McCracken in the backfield. 1st and 10 for the Rangers. Line of scrimmage is their own 38-yard line. Here's a quick out. Pass caught across the 45, down to around the 47-yard line. That, of course, Zach McDonald. Nice pickup. Going to pick up of 8. 2nd down. Here's Mafidis across midfield and into Judson territory before he's run out of bounds. So the chain gang going to move the chains, put a number 1 up for Smithson Valley.
That chain gang's kind of old over there. I know most of those guys. They can't run this 2-minute offense a whole lot. They'll be wore out. They have to call a timeout and get them some water.
My, oh my. All right, 1st and 10, line of scrimmage is the Judson 48 for Smithson Valley. Mata, the handoff. It's McCracken. Down to around the 45-yard line. A nice pickup. As a matter of fact, that is where they'll mark it. 1:59, 1:58. Clock continuing to run. 2 receivers near side. Mata rolling. Pass. This one just overthrew his intended receiver. McDonald there on the near side.
Had him open, just overthrew him, just rushed it a little bit, I think.
This will bring up 3rd down.
This 4-down territory right here. They're not going to, I don't think they'll attempt a field goal if they don't pick up the 1st down. So they got 2 downs to pick it up.
Mason Birch checking into the ball game at tight end. It's 3rd and 7.
Get it here, they'll probably run it again.
Two receivers to the far side. Mata. Pass down the middle, overthrows his intended receiver. And that brings up a big 4th down. 4th and 7 with 1:47 left to go in the ball game.
Yeah, it's a big down, 4th down obviously, but there's still 1:47. There's lots of timeouts left on the clock, so there's still a lot to happen at this ball game.
McDonald checks in for Birch. Also checking in Cole Douglas, senior tight end for the Rangers. And there's a timeout on the field. Smithson Valley takes it. So both teams now with 2 timeouts left. 1:47 left to go in the ball game. And it's a we really need a 1st down situation right now for Smithson Valley.
Yeah, it is. It's
not enough you can say, too. Rangers 7-0 to this point, perfect in district play.
Judson's played a good ball game tonight.
They have, of course, Rockets with their back up against the wall. So many things hit the squad this past week, and of course, uncustomarily with a sub 500 record.
A lot of football left to be played in this game tonight yet.
Absolutely. The offense comes back in. Here it is, 4th and 7. Mata with a snap, rolling right. Mata unloads. Mata, I believe he has McDonald. They're saying he caught it.
5, what a play. Tell you what, that's the 2nd ball I've seen Mata throw this year on the run, just on the money, where he hit the Mel against New Braunfels, and then he just hits McDonald.
You talk about ice water in your veins for both Mata and McDonald. They knew they had to come up big. That's exactly what they did. It's 1st and goal now. Line of scrimmage is the Judson 6-yard line with 1:41 left to go in the ball game.
Well, they're gonna revisit that run game right here. I think Smithson Valley is. We got Malachi in the ball game.
The handoff, Malachi straight up the middle, gets inside the 5 to around the 4-yard line.
Judson's got a decision to make. Do they want to use their timeouts, maybe save some clock, or let it run and hope Smithson Valley scores will stop it? I mean, that's their 2 options, really. They don't.
Yeah, they're actually going to mark this at the 5 for a 2nd and goal now from the 5-yard line. You mentioned clock continues to run, 1:06, 1:05. Mata calls for the ball. The give. It's Lane trying to find the corner to the outside into the end zone. Touchdown, Smithson Valley. And the Ranger faithful are loving it. 57 seconds left to go in the ball game, and Smithson Valley retakes the lead.
Yeah, it was exciting early and late. You know? All that stuff in the middle really doesn't matter.
You called it. You called it. There you go. In 57, that's Lane's 3rd touchdown of the evening.
Yeah, he's got to be the MVP player of the game if Smithson Valley wins on both sides, maybe offense and defense. Well, he might all take that offensive line out to dinner for a steak.
I guarantee you, big old steak. And the Rangers apparently going to call a timeout. They are. They're
trying to decide whether to go 1 or 2. What's the score? 5. They're going to need to go for 2.
Yeah, that would be a good gamble. They're going to need to convert.
They need to not just go for it, right?
Well, we'll see what the call will be here from the sideline and Coach Larry Hill. All right, we'll check this out. So I think we got a replay coming. Here it is.
That's Malachi Lane. They're getting us a great pin block by Domel to the top. He's caught a touchdown pass. He's caught 2 tonight, huh? Domel or 1?
I think Domel's caught. Well, I know he had a big catch.
Some catches. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, wait a minute. He did have a touchdown catch on that that pass from Clark.
Yeah, he done a nice job blocking also. Malachi sets that defensive end up, sticks his head inside, and that D end sticks his head in, try to get to him. Then Malachi just runs everybody off to the edge, outruns him to the edge.
Well, the Rangers break huddle. They're going for 2. Got Bafidis lined up to the right side, a single receiver to the left side, and I believe that's Lane in the backfield.
A little razzle-dazzle here, maybe.
With Mata.
There's a little razzle-dazzle.
There you go. They got Bafidis. Bafidis over. 2-point conversion is good.
Oh, they got a flag.
Penalty markers fly. Wonder what that's all about. And look, I can't tell if Smithson Valley's looks a little dejected there or what the situation is. We'll see what the call is. And yeah, Judson saying it's against the Rangers. However, they're not the ones in the striped shirts. It was a great call. We got to see the speed of Bafidis at that point. You were mentioning he fast. He certainly is getting into the end zone on that. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, so they're going to line it up and try it again.
Mark off 10.
Yeah, this will back it up. We'll be putting this at about the 8-yard line.
Or 13.
Correction, 13. Okay, so we try it again. 2 receivers to the far side. Malachi Lane now coming out of the game. And another penalty marker.
Broke the huddle with 12 is what they're going to call him on now. Go back him up another 5. Unless they give him a timeout. I don't know if Larry called a timeout or not.
That's it. Yeah, we saw Lane running off, but apparently it was too late by that point.
Have to throw a jump ball. Probably going to throw the Domel to the top.
So here we go. Single receiver either side for Mata. No doubt it's going to be a pass play. It was a good call. They were going to Domel, but it was just a little out of his reach. So 57 ticks of the clock left in this one. We got a thriller. Smithson Valley on top of Judson, 32-27. Back with the conclusion in just a moment here on the Rangers Network.
Don't go.
Well, back with you now for the final under 1 minute, 57 seconds left in this one this evening. It's been back and forth here in the fourth quarter with Judson and Smithson Valley exchanging the lead. Smithson Valley currently holds the lead as they just scored the 5-yard Malachi Lane touchdown run to put them up 5 at 32-27.
What's that, 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter?
1, 2, 3, yes. It's been back and forth, and we're not over yet. So, on with the kickoff.
Hit the ground, out of bounds.
This one going out of bounds.
Yeah, Judson take it on 30. Yeah, they're going to take it.
Be 1st and 10 for the Rockets.
No, they're going to make them kick it again. I lied to you, Roman. I'm sorry.
I would have never believed it. But here we go again. Tee it up and let's re-kick this thing. So the deal is right now is we got under 1 minute left to play, and the Ranger defense comes back on the field. Don't give up the big play.
Yeah, don't give up the big play. I mean, you can give them, you can kind of play the bend but don't break scheme, and a field goal's not going to beat you. They've got to have a touchdown, so just understand that, and that's easier said than done.
All right, Rockets have 2 timeouts left, though. Rangers have 1.
It will help a little bit. Smithson Valley might be able to sense that they're probably going to throw the football, so their D-line might pin their ears back and get a little more pressure on the quarterback. But we'll see. Hang on to your hats.
This is it. As Smithson Valley gets set to kick off, Amaya put his foot into this.
Fair catch.
This time, right, it'll be the 25-yard line, right in that area where Alan Caraccio called for that. So Michael Burrows is going to have 57 seconds to work with.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Are they going to just take shots down the field, or are they going to do some possession throws like they've done, some bubble routes and some outs and just gain some? They got a couple timeouts, and they're a fast-paced offense anyway, so this is this isn't new to them.
So here's Burrows. He's dropping back. Steps up, unloads that one just too low for his intended receiver, Andre Jones, as it bounced.
Got some pressure by the D-line. Gavin Woods is in his face pretty good. So as long as they can get a little pressure with just their D front, they're in good shape because they can drop 8 and cover up. And they got some guys on the D-line that can get to him in a 3-man rush.
2nd and 10 from the 25. Once again, Burrows.
There it is.
Out quickly.
Come on.
He's got a man. Breaking tackles. Finally driven out of bounds at about the 41-yard line goes Andre Jones. That'll move the chains and give Judson a first down.
A little tunnel screen. I heard him a little bit earlier. Not a huge play, but, they 10, 15 yards. That's a lot right now. Hitting an aggressive D-line, hitting a screen in behind them.
This time, pass intended for Nathaniel Stanley, just out of his reach. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line.
It's Diego Hamilton getting after him right here. So you got your D-line, you got Gavin Woods, Diego Hamilton. And who's that up there to the top? Is that Brooke Whitaker? Maybe 93.
93 is, Brock Whitaker, huh?
Yeah. So those 3 guys right there in charge of getting some heat on him.
2 receivers far side, single receiver, 2 near side actually. Burrows dropping back. Trying to scramble by time. He'll go ahead and keep it and cross midfield. The 40 be knocked out of bounds at about the 43, just shy of the 40-yard line.
Well, that's all fine and good, but he got out of bounds. The clock stopped, so
Yeah.
they need to get him in bounds, keep the clock running. Of course, now they're in a position where they can throw the ball almost to the end zone. Take some shots down there.
33 seconds left to go in this, and they're set up for it. 2 receivers either side this time for Burrows. Taking the snap. Quick out, has a man across the 40, the 35. Brought down at about the 32-yard line as a receiver, Anthony Evans. And the clock continues to run with 20, 19.
2 timeouts left.
And they called one.
Yes.
They called one with 19 seconds left. We'll just kind of recap how this has happened this evening. Judson got on the scoreboard first. With 4:21 left to go in the first quarter. 5-yard touchdown run by Nathaniel Stanley. First quarter ended with the Rockets up 7-0. 4:54 the second quarter. Mata 3-yard pass to McDonald. Extra point good. Things got evened up there. Then with 2:29 left to go before halftime, it was Burrows with a 1-yard touchdown run, extra point good. Rockets up once again, 14-7. And then a beautiful pass from Clark to Domel, 27 yards, extra point good. We would be tied at 14 going into the halftime locker room. To begin the third quarter, Smithson Valley would take their first lead of the game. Malachi Lane, a 17-yard touchdown run. The extra point failed. Rangers up 20-14. Touchdown passes of 59 and 65 yards to Anthony Evans for Judson. And 2 more touchdown runs from Malachi Lane will put us where we are right now. Smithson Valley on top 32-27 with 21 ticks of the clock left this evening. Two receivers either side this time for quarterback Michael Burrows. As he takes the snap, dropping back.
Get him.
He's
get
looking.
him. Get him. Hang on to him.
And there you
Got
go.
him.
He is sacked.
Burn another timeout.
Malachi Lane once again also wrapping him up. Gavin Woods to begin things.
Well, I was looking for Malachi. I said, where is he? I didn't see. He's in a 3 down. He's got his hand on the ground. So now he's going from linebacker to defensive end. So here we go.
He's had a whale of a ball game, that young man. But the thing I like that you mentioned, he's just a fine young man. He must just really have a great love for the game.
He just has fun. He's got his. I don't know.
Malachi is senior.
Somebody needs to pick him up.
I was going to say, yeah, hopefully he's got some plans to play at the next level, because if you love the game that much, we certainly appreciate you sharing your talents with us.
Yeah.
14 seconds left to go in the ball game. Smithson Valley a 5-point lead.
This will be it probably if they tackle him in bounds. Possibly if they don't.
Rockets out of timeouts. You can see right there the sidelines.
They're fixing to have to either go out or deep, on one or the other. They're probably going to yank it. I'm guessing they're going to throw it in the end zone.
Here we go. This could be the play of the game. Burrows dropping back. Burrows looking end zone, unloads, has him in. Touchdown, Judson. Andre Jones hauling it in. And the Rockets have done that seemingly all night with their passing game.
A big strike. Big strike down the field, no question. That's 3 big ones in a row.
So with 8 seconds left to go on the clock, the Rockets take the lead, 33-32. It's been that way all fourth quarter. But here again, the game is not over yet. And did Smithson Valley take a timeout? No, penalty marker on the ground. So we'll check this. Delay of game, Judson. And Judson was looking to go for 2, apparently.
Yeah, I think they're going for 2. Same thing, get it up there to where it's a field goal to tie it, not to win it for Smithson Valley.
So that is the case, although it'll be from a little further back. Burrows, the snap. The give. Stanley's going to be stopped short. And with 8 ticks of the clock left, Rangers may have one more shot at this. And anything has happened here in the fourth quarter, and so I'd leave the possibilities open. Tell you what, let's set it to break, and we'll be back for the final 8 seconds here in just a moment on the Rangers Network.
Join us for the Seth Strong Foundation Halloween 5K tomorrow morning, Saturday, October 23rd. Race starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bulverde Spring Branch Activity Center. The mission of the Seth Strong Foundation is to facilitate the love of Christ by supporting local families experiencing a life-threatening illness of a child. All proceeds from the race will benefit the Seth Strong Foundation to provide support to local families. Log on to athleteguild.com now to register. We'll see you tomorrow morning to support Seth Strong.
Well, it comes down to this. 8 seconds left to go in the ball game, and Judson just took the lead once again, 33-32 on top of Smithson Valley. As we wait the Judson kickoff, this to one of the up men. He's coming near side. Now tries to reverse his field. This ought to run out the clock, and it does. The Judson Rockets ecstatic. And after a tough season, they've picked up a big district win over the previously undefeated Smithson Valley Rangers by a final of 33-32.
Well, this is a good ball game, as you knew it would be.
Absolutely.
Those two top caliber programs coming in against each other. Everybody thinks Judson's probably down a little bit because of their record, but they're still a talented ball club, and they practiced, and they had a good week and came out and showed it.
And something always happens when you play a district rival like this to this degree. And Judson is playing on a lot of emotion this evening. I'm sure Coach Hill will go back to the locker room and get things straight for next week's game as the Rangers at home to host East Central. Kickoff slated for 7 o'clock next Friday night. So, Coach, always a pleasure. Wish the outcome would have been a little bit different, so to speak, but always a pleasure. Hope we can do this again soon.
Me too, Roland. I enjoyed it.
All right. For the coach, Joe Muchagamba, my name is Roland J. Reese. Thank you so much for joining us this evening once again. Your final, Judson 33, Smithson Valley 32. Until next time, so long, everybody.